Really? Hmm.
Yeah, it's so
I
weird.
was
That
having
is
issues
weird.
with it. I don't know if Windows 11 was the problem, but I was having a ton of issues with Firefox as well. They've
Yeah.
all sorted themselves out enough now.
All right, we are live. So, welcome back, everybody. I know it has been a little while since we streamed. You can blame Elden Ring and then me being sick last week because I've played like 210 hours of Elden Ring since it came out like 3.5 weeks ago. So, I've been going a little crazy on it. It is an amazing game. Um, but I will start with a recap and I'll go back a little ways just because we haven't played in about a month or so. So just to kind of refresh you guys as well as anybody else that might be watching. Um, so you guys were in Falkovnia and you were doing a quest for what you thought was a lady named Veristraz to get this book called the Chromaticon. It was in the mountains called the Tors of the Frozen Giants, and it was kind of in like a temple at the top of the mountain. So you guys went through many trials and tribulations, fought an eye drake, met up with a star druid named Viella, that kind of helped you guys and had been watching over the temple to make sure that nobody could get this book. But upon hearing your guys' intentions, she decided that she was going to help you as well. So you guys teamed up with her. You made it into the temple, made it down to the bottom level of the temple where Vipulnar, the giant king, was waiting for you. And you guys had a battle royale in the Chromaticon throne room. It was a pretty wicked fight. You guys, a couple of you barely survived, but it was good. You guys got some really nice loot out of it afterwards, and then you were able to retrieve the Chromaticon. Unfortunately, as soon as the glass broke, that the Chromaticon was sitting behind the ice walls of the temple that you were in started cracking and a bunch of seawater started rushing in on you. So it was a race against time to swim your way out. And there were some water elementals and stuff on the way, but really thanks to probably Viella and her being a druid and having, water forms and being able to drag some of you along, you guys were able to make it out. Um, you then headed back down the mountain, and we're going to head back to Lakar, which is the capital city of Falkovnia. And you guys were going to kind of resupply and stuff there. But unfortunately, it seems that Veristraz had been scrying on you all the entire time that you were gone. And she revealed her true form to be a ancient green dragon that can also cast spells. It was a very one sided fight. Luckily, yeah, maybe. If y'all had like 200 more HP than you have, maybe. It was a very one sided fight, and she was killing you all very quickly, but the dark powers of Ravenloft, it seems, have plans for you all yet, as the misty tendrils of the mists of Ravenloft kind of started coming out of the ground and wrapping themselves around you. And just when things were really looking bleak, they pulled you down into the mists. You guys were falling through the mist for just about like 5 seconds or so until like hit the ground and came to in a very strange place. You guys were then in Haslin, though you did not quite know it yet, which is a domain where magic is a little finicky and has caused some major problems. And magic is the people with magic are highly sought after and are the ruling class. And you guys have learned that the master of this domain is a wizard named Haslick, and he has a bunch of apprentices that basically run wild. So after kind of making your way out of the wilds through this ravine or giant canyon, you guys made your way to Toyalis, which was the first sign of civilization that you guys have seen. Upon entering the inn that you all saw when you came into town, which was called the Runaway Apprentice, I believe, it seemed like you guys were getting a lot of attention, and Lyric in particular. People were, you could kind of overhear people whispering his name and really looking at him pointedly. And then a very confident individual just strolled right up to you, revealing themselves to be Mars, Marzipan, Mars for short. And Marzipan also was a little bit flabbergasted that the Lyric was here, and Lyric was just as flabbergasted because he's never been to Haslin and knows none of these people. So it was a surprise for everyone, really, and he still doesn't quite know why people actually know who he is here. But it seems that everybody is under the impression that he is some great hero and is, kind of here to save them. So Marzipan, or Mars, asked you guys for help with a quest. Apparently one of Haslick's apprentices, Romuli, had been kidnapping people from Toyalis and taking them to his little fortress laboratory place where he was doing experiments on them, and these people were not returning. So you guys agreed, because that sounded like a very bad thing to all of you. So after just kind of a short trek, it wasn't too far outside of town, you guys came to the really more of a manor than a fortress or anything like that, that Romuli inhabited. And he had many constructs that were kind of blocking your guys' way. You fought a couple of iron golems, I think a clay golem. There was some lesser golems in there as well. But you guys fought your way through all of that and eventually got to the main fight. Ooh, I lost Oz's cam. Got to the main fight with Romuli himself, and he still had some helpers with him. The fight was kind of back and forth. I could have seen it going either way there for a little bit, but with Mars's help, you guys were able to turn the tide and eventually seemingly about to defeat Romuli when all of a sudden, when he got hit with a particularly strong blow from Lyric, I believe, and Lyric was thinking he was about to finish him off, all of a sudden he just dimension doors out of nowhere, and it was not his turn. You guys have no clue how he was able to do that, but through some magical means, it seems, he was able to dimension door out. It seems like he had an escape plan. So Romuli is still at large. But you guys were able to, kind of loot his manor there and rescue some of the townsfolk that had yet to be experimented on. You guys also did see quite a few of the poor souls that had already been experimented on. And I think you guys took their bodies out and buried them, yes?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so after doing that, you guys led all of the remaining townsfolk back to Toyalis. And we were kind of rushing at the end because it was like a 6-hour session and it was getting super late. So we, hand-waved a little stuff. But basically, you guys made it back to Toyalis. You made it back to the Runaway Apprentice. And Mars is still with you guys, but is just kind of saying his goodbyes to you all right now. And that is where we are going to pick things up. And Mars kind of looks to you all and says, "You have no idea how much I appreciate all of your help, especially you, Lyric. It was so great to see you in action. You really are everything that they said you are. I know that this in no way is enough, but it is really all I can afford to give you all at the moment." And he reaches into his pack and pulls out a small horn, and hands it to Lyric. This is a horn that will deafen people. Anybody within about 90 feet or so, it seems. But you can also choose to exclude some people. It's an interesting little horn. The deafness doesn't last terribly long, just about a minute or so, but it served me well, and I hope that you all can find some use for it too. But I do have other matters that I have to attend to, and I have to go see my aunt and make sure that she is still okay. So I will bid you all farewell for now, but perhaps we will meet again, and thank you.
Thank you, Mars. I hope to journey with you again as well.
Oh, that would be incredible. The rest of you, can come too, I suppose.
Yeah, we are, we're Lyric's, lackeys.
It feels
We're his roadies.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed, but I was trying to be polite. A little polite.
No, I don't like that. Partners. Well, partners.
Oh, well, whatever you say. I mean, heroes typically are humble.
Did I miss something? Echo's visibly confused about what's going on.
Just another Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Mars exits the Runaway Apprentice with his final goodbyes, and you see the swishing of his cloak as he kind of cockily saunters out of the inn. You guys are now alone. What would you like to do? Oh, and just the quick specifics on this horn, just so you guys have it. It is called... Where did I write that down? I wrote it down somewhere. It's called the Horn of Deafness. And once a day, you can blow it as a bonus action. It does not require attunement, so anybody can use it whenever they want. But basically, in a 90-foot radius, any creatures that you choose, you can attempt to deafen. It's a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. And I believe that's all the information that you guys need on it. It is a brass horn. It's not terribly ornate. It's got a little bit of scroll work and stuff on it, but it's a fairly plain brass horn. It's not terribly big either. Maybe like 10 inches long or so. It's not very big.
Could you repeat that save and the time on it?
Yeah, so it is a DC 15 Constitution save, and the deafness lasts for a minute. And it's anybody of your choice within a 90-foot radius that you can attempt to deafen. And I believe I sent all of the other treasure to you guys in the Discord, so you guys should have that.
Yeah, as Mars is making his way out, Oz is just kind of piling the magical stuff on the table.
Okay. And you guys are still very much, Lyric is still very much getting a lot of looks, and, occasionally, probably Ericos with your, amazing passive perception there. You probably hear his name uttered multiple times in hushed tones as people are seemingly talking about him and the rest of you.
Okay.
So, Lyric, you want to... You're a bit of a celebrity. Is that a reason for that, or...?
It seems like everybody in here is just whispering about you. Are you sure you haven't been here?
No, not in my memory. And I think I would remember a place like this. But perhaps we should go somewhere quieter if we're going to talk and bandy about these items.
It's probably a good idea.
Oz puts everything back in his pack.
Okay.
I thought for a second you were going to say back in your pants.
Yeah, in my back pocket.
I believe you guys did have rooms because you already... No, you guys had just gotten here. Yeah, so you guys didn't get rooms yet. Yeah. So you could go up to, the innkeeper and get rooms if you guys would like to. Believe his name was... Because you guys talked to him before, I think it was Balzac. Sorry, I completely just misplaced my notes. I lost them entirely.
I actually got his name when I talked with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say his name is Balzac then, which I know sounds a lot like something
Balzac.
else, but yeah. It's Balzak.
All right. Well, Lyric, you want to go get us some rooms and maybe get us a discount?
I can get us rooms. I don't think we need a discount.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll go up to the barkeep. I think we'll be staying in town at least for the night. Do you have rooms available?
Oh, for you? Absolutely. And they're on the house. Your money is no good here.
Last I checked, gold was good everywhere. And I'll drop 2 gold.
You are quite generous. Thank you. Yes, this is more than enough. Stay for as long as you want. How many rooms will you be requiring?
Let's get 4 rooms.
Okay. Yes. And he goes kind of behind him to a little rack with hooks on it and takes out 4 room keys that are numbered 7, 8, 9, and 10. It looks like you all have rooms that are close to each other, right next to each other. And he comes over and hands the keys to you.
Thank you, sir.
Will you be requiring any other services while you are here? We could have a tub brought up to any of the rooms, or...
I think we'd all love a fresh meal.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you could provide that.
Yeah, that can be
Thank
sent
you
up
very
to your
much.
rooms as well.
And if anything peculiar happens, any sign of danger or anything unusual, please send for us if you think there's any need.
Of course.
I know this is a dangerous place,
Oh,
and we're here to protect you.
well, you've got that right, and we certainly appreciate it. We've been waiting for somebody like you to come along for forever, really. As long as I can remember, there's never really been too many, heroes in the, if you want to call it that, anywhere coming through Haslin in any time I can remember, or any stories about any. So having you here is just, it's the greatest blessing. It's strange. We just started hearing about you within the last couple days, and then here you are.
Do you recall who was the first person you heard say my name?
I heard it from multiple people, fairly close to around the same time. I wouldn't be able to pinpoint one person necessarily. It was just as if all of a sudden your name was on everyone's tongues, and everyone had your description and knew what you looked like, knew your name. I don't know. It was strange, but we are blessed to have you here. So anything you need that we can provide, we will. Just ask.
Thank you very much, and the same goes for you. Anything we can do for you.
Oh, of
That's
course,
what we're here
of course. Of course, you're too generous. I would hate to bother you, though. I'm sure you're very busy and have much bigger things to do than be helping an old barkeep like me.
What could possibly be bigger?
He looks genuinely confused by that question. He just kind of like stops and looks and kind of shakes his head and shrugs a little. I'm not sure, honestly.
Well, we'll be upstairs. Thank you very much.
Of course, of course. Are you all going to be eating separately? Should I have the meal sent to one of the rooms in particular or to all 4 rooms? What's...
I think we'll all be in 7 then.
Okay. I will have the food sent up to 7 just as quickly as I can.
Wonderful.
You all eat meat, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
All right, I'll head back to the group. Shall we?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we getting food?
Yes, I told him to send some food up to room 7, so we can adjourn there for the time.
This sounds good. I'm very hungry.
Yeah, I think we all are. It's been a long day.
While Lyric was talking to the bartender, how was everybody looking at the group while he was gone?
They're pretty much looking at him.
Okay, so they're just ignoring us. All right, good.
Yeah. You guys get a couple of glances. People aren't completely ignoring you, but it's nowhere near the amount of looks that were coming to your table when Lyric was sitting with you. Most of the looks are in his direction, and then occasionally you guys will get some glances, and, a couple heads will go together, and people will talk. But you guys don't hear any of your own names. Ericos, you don't hear anybody else's name on anyone's tongues or anything like that, so...
Okay. This is just kind of creepy.
So you guys going upstairs?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys head upstairs. You all going into room 7 for now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys take the key and unlock the little lock into room 7, and it's a nice room. Standard room. It's got one bed. Since you're all getting your own rooms. This does appear to probably be one of the nicer rooms in the inn. It looks like it has a nice feather bed. The bed does have like the bed posts and like some drapes up top and stuff like that. The color scheme is very much like maroon and black for the most part. There's a little wash basin on a dresser in the corner, and just standard things that you would have in a room in an inn.
How big are the beds?
Not big enough for you. I mean, they're decent sized, especially these nice beds are probably 8 feet long or so, because most people aren't taller than about 6 feet, so it leaves a couple feet of room. But you know, these are probably the biggest beds in the place, and yeah, you might have to sleep in the fetal position or something, or just let your legs hang off, or, you know, come up with some other solution.
All right.
Because you're what, like 9'8" now or something?
Yeah, 9'8".
I'd like to see a drawing of how you end up.
I mean, if the bed can even support him.
Yeah, right.
Also, that barkeep has made a killing off of us. I gave him, like, I think 10 or 15 gold last time.
Oh, wow, okay.
I was
Go ahead.
no, I was doing some quick math before we started, and we have like 1,000 platinum. So yeah, we've got plenty of money to spare.
Oh, did you guys get that from the eye drake? Mostly?
I mean, just from everything, we've gotten
Yeah.
a bunch of gold, and we've barely spent any of it.
Yeah, because you guys haven't had an
really haven't.
opportunity to spend anything, because there was really no shops of note in Lakar, because they're constantly under siege by zombies. I mean, they just had the basic stuff you would need for survival. So yeah, you guys really haven't had a chance to do any shopping yet.
Once we're in the room, Oz will start pulling everything back out.
Okay. Yeah, so you had the pixie dust, the balloon pack, the robe of useful items, and then the singular sending stone.
Did you roll for the patches as well?
Oh no, am I supposed to roll for the patches? I didn't look up the item, I just... Let me look it up real quick.
In addition, the robe has 44 other patches. The GM chooses the patches or determines them randomly.
Okay, yeah, I'll roll for some stuff real quick.
Does anybody else get nervous when all these eyes are on us?
I know they're not on me. I am the least out of place amongst the four of us.
Yeah, I don't feel nervous because they're not on me as well, but it's absolutely
Oh my
not
god.
nervous, but it's uneasy. That I feel like they know something that we don't, and it's obvious that they do, and that, yeah, that's creepy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I rolled really weird.
Is it just a bunch of gold?
No, it's not. I don't think you guys got any gold. So, yeah. 3 of the pouches contain 2 mastiffs each. Oh, you did get one thing with some. You got one has a silver coffer in it that is 1 foot long, 6 inches wide and deep, and is worth 500 gold pieces. So you guys did get 500 gold. There is also a window that is 2 feet by 4 feet and up to 2 feet deep, which you can place on a vertical surface you can reach. I really don't understand what it can do or whatever,
So
but it's a
maybe we
window.
could go through a wall of a building, through a portable window?
Yeah, I don't know because it doesn't mention anything. It just says you can place it on a vertical surface you can reach. So I'll have to, I'll Google it while you guys are discussing other stuff and see what I come up with.
Put it on
and-
Echo's stomach, climb inside him.
Oh, and the last one is is 4 potions of healing. Oh, sorry, there's one more actually. There's also a wooden ladder that is 24 feet long.
Regular potions of healing?
Yep, 4 regular so it's the silver coffer with 500 gold pieces, the wooden ladder that's 24 feet long, 4 potions of healing, 6 mastiffs, and a window.
Well, I mean, Oz will look around. Does anyone else want the robe? No, I think everyone here wears armor, and I do not. So,
Yeah, not me.
okay.
And then just looking up the item itself, you have the regular stuff that it has in it, right?
Yep.
Like the dagger and the bullseye lanterns and stuff?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So I put it on, and it looks hideous because it's just a white bed sheet with patches on it.
It looks good on you, Oz.
Does it make me look fat, Echo?
Not at all. I don't think anything can make you look fat. You need to eat a lot more. I'm worried about you.
It would be better if it made me look fat.
Well, unless those plant creatures like fat things, and then you probably shouldn't wear it.
Yeah, this is true. Does anyone else want the other stuff that we got? Also, I don't know if we can view the other items because they just go to the specific rule books and needing to purchase them rather than the item themselves.
Wait, really?
Maybe.
I think if you just do a search, I think
They've always worked
there'll be a
before.
place that comes up with them.
They pull up for me. Huh, that's weird. Okay, I will just I'll copy paste the text from those into the treasure thing really quick while you guys talk. Just so that you guys have it. You've got the robe of useful items though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Lyric, in your travels, have you done anything else that would make you be seen as a hero? Did you kill a dragon?
No, I wish. I've always dreamed of being a hero. You know, ever since I was a kid. That's why I picked up my bow. That's why I worked for the guard, my local, and why I worked for the mayor. How I wound up in this hellscape to begin with. But
The pixie dust is doing that same thing to me now. It wasn't before, so somebody must have taken me out of a campaign that they were sharing content with me in, and I must have lost access to some stuff.
Yeah, because
that must be
remember-
what would have happened.
Yeah, I clicked on them when we got them, and I was able to get right there too. Yeah.
Yeah, so something happened. Somebody must have taken me out of a campaign that they were sharing content with me in, so we lost access to some stuff. So it is what it is.
Yep.
But I think that is... I've got everything into the...
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, everything should be on there now, so you guys should be good. Oh, yeah, and then I was... but yeah, guys, you guys can go ahead and continue...
So I have one more question for Lyric before I continue this conversation. You don't have a twin, do you?
not that I know of.
So if you don't have a twin and you've never been here, is the only real explanation that somebody has just spread word about you intentionally?
Well, that's... I was asking Mr. Balzac that exact question. Where did he hear of me? And it sounds like it was as if by magic, everyone in this town became aware of who I was and what I've done and what I look like a few days ago.
I wonder how widespread that is. I wonder if it's just this town or if it's like a couple of towns. Like I just wonder what that area is. My concern is I don't know anything about green dragons or green dragon magic. But if that lady really wants to find us and could send some kind of global spell just alerting everybody so that she can find us that way, that would be terrifying.
What if the ruler of this place finds you as a threat? If everybody knows who you are, then you can't hide from anyone.
To be honest, I think that's the best outcome. After what we did, you know, Romuli's a coward, but he's a powerful coward, and that scares me. I worry what might happen to the people here if we leave, what his vengeance could look like.
Oh, I think
So
it needs to be dealt with before we leave.
Oh, for sure.
If he is focused on me and focused on us, that could spare these people for a little bit longer.
That room Marcos and I went into, there were like human meatballs, just bodies just mangled and messed with. I've never seen anything like that.
Now I'll actually pull out all of the experiment notes and the books I took from Romuli's experiment rooms and the table that he had and the locked book as well. I mean, I have pretty much everything right here, and I'm going to go over it tonight before I go to sleep.
Okay.
But,
yeah. Just seeing that is... It hurt my insides.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty sight, and I agree. I don't think we should... Well, we either need to deal with the problem or wait for it to come to us, and I don't think the latter is a good option, at least in my opinion.
But that ladder's so tall.
Is there a ladder in the room?
The one, the pocket you have. There's a picture. There's a big ladder.
I mean, it could be. It could also be the way that it looks on the patch. It could be a very small ladder.
Ah. Kind of like when you put your face really close to a bug and it seems bigger.
I mean, maybe. Yes, Echo, yes. You are correct.
How about that sending stone? That's our only lead at this point on where Romuli may have run off to.
would I know what a sending stone does? I mean, I know that we kind of skipped through some things at the end of last time, but would I know what a sending stone does, and if we would be able to really tell where the other sending stone is?
So you wouldn't be able to tell where the other person is, but you would be able to tell if no creature bears the other stone.
Okay.
You would have to try to use it to actually cast the sending spell for you to know that, though. So you'd have to use it.
Well, partially right, Lyric. I think we won't be able to know if somebody has the other stone where they are, but we can certainly try to see if somebody is on the other end.
If the sending stone ends up being our only clue, I could try communing with my deity to see if we could get more information, if there's information to be had at some point.
I mean, I don't think it hurts to try. We are for unfamiliar people. Maybe Lyric has been here. We don't know, or maybe Lyric doesn't even know. It's or we're just someone spreading rumors or impersonating us. But we are four unfamiliar people in a very unfamiliar place. So I think trying everything that we can is going to be the best bet.
Yeah.
Well, if everyone is okay with it, we can kind of get a message out via the stone to see if somebody's on the other side.
Yeah, I think we should.
What do we want to say? I mean, I can just say hello and see what comes back, but
Greetings are always nice.
Well, I guess the question is, do you want to try some subterfuge, or you just want to find out if somebody has it?
Yeah, I think we have two options that make sense to me, at least. There's subterfuge. We try to trick whoever is on the other end, pretend to be Romuli, and try to get information. I don't know how well that could work with the magic of the stone.
Yeah.
Or we announce ourselves. We're here to protect these people and save this land, and we've already defeated Romuli within his own manner.
I like that idea. I'm not one much for subterfuge.
I was going to say, given that Romuli was able to dimension door at whim, more than likely he's probably with somebody, and they have a good understanding that the sending stone might not be in his possession anymore.
It's good to let them know we're coming for them anyway.
Well, Ericos, would you like to do the honors? You are probably one of the scariest people I've ever met in terms of your thirst for justice.
Sure.
I will hand Ericos the sending stone.
Okay.
Ericos will take the sending stone. He's going to put one hand on his holy symbol, the
Okay.
other hand around the stone,
Okay.
and he's going to speak with the energy directed at the stone.
Okay.
And he's going to say, "We have your stone. We're coming for you. If Romuli is near, tell him we have unfinished business and he will not escape again." That's it.
Okay.
Do I get any sense of receipt?
Yes, you can tell that somebody else does have the other sending stone.
Somebody has gotten our message.
You make many assumptions.
Am I the only one who can hear this, or is that coming out where everybody can hear it?
No, this is coming straight to you.
Okay.
You make many assumptions. I'm fine if you finish Romuli. He's always been a bit of a problem anyways. But hello, new friend. I believe you'll be receiving a missive from me at some point in the near future. And then it cuts off.
Okay. I'll relay that conversation to everybody else. Sounds like he doesn't really, whoever's on the other end of the stone doesn't really care about Romuli, but he needs to be finished anyway. And he was not intimidated. So either he's a formidable opponent or a silly man.
Are there magical ways to find us because of that stone?
How much would I know on that subject?
Um.
I'm not like a learned.
Yeah.
user.
You can make an Arcana check.
And Echo's only saying that because of what the Green Dragon said, that she was always watching them. So now he's paranoid as hell.
Yeah, for sure. You do know that the scrying spell can be made easier if the person casting it has certain items of yours or knows certain things about you. You're not exactly sure if that would pertain to this sending stone in this case, because technically the person owns the other sending stone. So you're not sure if that, ease of scrying would transfer over to them knowing that you have this other sending stone or not. You do know that somebody that knows that you have it would be able to cast, say, locate object if they were within 1,000 feet of you and try to find you that way. But other than that, you're not really sure.
Okay. Well, Echo, with the stone in our possession, it certainly makes it easier for them to find us. Not that they couldn't watch us magically otherwise, but the sending stone just makes it a smidge easier for them.
One other interesting thing of note on this sending stone is on the bottom side of it. There is one of those symbols that you guys have seen carved everywhere. One of these is on it. Carved pretty small into on the bottom side of it, just on one little what would be the bottom side of the bottom. It's not very big, but that symbol that you guys have seen, pretty much everywhere here is etched into this sending stone as well.
Okay. And I'll make sure when I relate the message that I relate the fact that this entity is sending us a message at some point soon, so we need to keep our eye out of whether that's just a nice friendly note or, somebody's ear or whatever that could be.
Well, maybe might be better to double up on rooms just in case.
That's a pretty good idea.
So
Having two empty
we're having
rooms doesn't work.
sleepovers?
Yeah, Echo, you want to share a room with me? You can sleep on the floor and I'll take the bed.
I'll go get my bed from the other room.
Oh.
And Echo's gonna run And he doesn't know where his room's at. He just starts running and then realizes it and comes back.
Yeah, you didn't even have the key for it.
How do we get in the rooms?
I'll reach out with a key. Right next door, Echo. Just next door.
Echo, I'm surprised you didn't just tear the door frame out.
I don't want to cause property damage. That's rude. What number is on the key?
8.
Good, because Echo doesn't know it, so he's gonna look for a door with the same symbol.
Yeah, I mean, you find it pretty quickly because it's literally right next door to the room that you come out of. So, like, across the hall, there's one with a strange symbol on it that you've seen before, but you don't know what it means. And then you go down to the one, like, across from you next to that. It's got another strange symbol. And then you look behind you at the one that would be right next to the room you came out of. And you see a matching symbol to the one on your key.
Right, yeah, Echo's gonna go ahead, he's gonna open it, and then you see him. He's excited for a sleepover. You see him going sleepover, and he's gonna grab the bed. And he's not gonna pick it up. He's just gonna drag it so everybody hears like the.
Yeah, so you all, even Lyric with your bad passive perception, you all loudly hear just the scraping of like little bits of it. I mean, they would be like the footposts of the bed would actually be like encased in a little bit of like metal. So it's just like metal scraping against wood and leaving, you know, decent sized little gouges into the wood floor here. And
Eros is gonna shake his head and just mutter, "That did not go the way I planned."
And
Oz is just muttering, and there's the property damage.
And you get to the door, and then you stop, and you look at the bed, and then you look at the door, and then you look back at the bed, and then you look back at the door, and you look back at the bed one last time, and you're just a little confused because you're not sure how you're going to get this bed out the door. I mean, it was hard for you to get through the door.
Maybe I should just go sleep in his room.
Echo believes he could just push it through. If they got it in, he could get it out.
I mean, it's obviously much wider than the door is.
There's going to be a space where we stop hearing something, correct? While he stands there and looks back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'd probably be a couple minutes.
Yeah, Ericos is going to get up and say, "Yeah, maybe I better go sleep in his room," and he's going to run out the door to the room next door.
Okay. Yeah, you see a huge frame. You can't even see his head. Just you see his back just blocking the doorway entirely, and then there's a bed right on the other side of it.
Echo, let's put your bed back. I think you have the better room. I think I'll just stay with you. Leave your bed in there.
Are you sure? I could get it to fit.
No,
Grab that other side and we lift with our legs.
No, I think your room is better for us. I think we should just stay there.
Oh, okay.
Let's put it back.
Okay. I'll put it back. And Echo's gonna start pushing it back.
Okay. Luckily, it's easier this time because the grooves are already there, so it kind of just it fits right into the grooves, and you just push it back right into place. No problem.
Ericos is gonna pop into the doorway of room 7 and say, "We'll be in room 8," and then he's gonna go back over to room 8 with Echo.
Oz, hearing the still grinding of metal against wood, will actually go follow Ericos as he lets us know. And I will look at the floor, and I will slowly cast mending.
I was gonna do the same
foot
thing.
at a time.
Okay.
Ericos is gonna start on the other end of the damage and do the same thing.
Hey, Oz, your camera is completely frozen. I tried reconnecting, and
I'm
it did
resigning
not work.
myself to this because it's frozen for me too. So.
Gotcha.
It seems like once
Okay.
it freezes, it's stuck all night.
Oh, seriously? Even if you like, what if you just try to reload really, really quick? Like go like oh well, it might work. Let's see. But yeah, you guys are able to mend the parts that you can see, no problem. But the bed is currently on top of some of the grooves that he did make by pushing it. So you aren't able to get all of the grooves, unfortunately.
Well, it'll have to do.
Yeah, it'll work for now.
I think we've paid him enough to cover the damage anyway.
If there's
Oh.
a carpet or
Oh,
a
I think
rug-
I've got you back.
There's
Yep.
a potential that it is just going to freeze up again because that's the second time it's happened. So,
Gotcha. Okay. And
Echo's is
Oh.
gonna drag a carpet or a rug if there's one in the room and put it over the grooves once he sees the mending the floor.
while I'm in there, I will toss the balloon bag to Echo.
okay.
Ooh, what's this?
That'll, if you're wearing it, will make you float. Just it's a short use. At least a one-time use, unless we find something to refill it. So if stuff is in the air, you can potentially do something with it.
It tastes interesting, Echo. When you lick it, I mean, you would probably have no reference for like rubbery, but yeah, it tastes like nothing you've ever tasted before. Doesn't taste good necessarily, but it's not like bad either. It just kind of tastes like a material.
Thank you, Oz. That was very kind of you.
Do my part, but it lasts for 10 minutes, so just use it when you actually need it, because we've that hovering dragon thing where you were trying all sorts of ways to get up icicles to get to it. I think that'll at least remedy the situation once.
Yeah, that fight had me so worried. I didn't know what to do. I tried everything, but I can't accept a gift without giving you one. Echo's gonna start like touching around his pockets and his pants and his pack, and he's gonna pull out his old maul and say, "Here, you can hold this."
I do not need that. I cannot carry it.
But you've got this nice new robe.
I do have this nice new robe. That doesn't make my arms stronger.
I wonder where the food is at. I'm so hungry. Moving this bed made me even hungrier.
Yeah, like shortly after moving the bed, food comes up to you guys, and it is some kind of meat that has like purplish kind of like veins running through it. It smells good, just looks like no meat you've ever seen before. Well, that's not true. It looks like steaks, but it's colored differently. It's kind of got like the purplish veins running through it where you're normally used to, seeing maybe like bits of like red and stuff like that. And then instead of the exterior being brown, it's got it's a lot lighter than that. Mm-hmm. So it's like kind of like tan instead of brown. And then the sides are what looks like potatoes, but they're green. And then there's some unnamed vegetables that you guys are just not familiar with. Smells really good though. I mean, it all smells good. It looks extremely edible.
What time of day is it roughly?
I mean, it's hard to tell here, but I would say that it has been... 'Cause, 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 It's probably been about 10 to 11 hours since the darkness ended.
Okay, so it's reasonable to take a long rest now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys have been up for probably,
Yeah, that's what I was
13, 14 hours at this point.
Well, Ericos is definitely going to settle in for a long rest before we do anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spending all that time in the void during that last fight took it out of me.
Yeah.
Echo will give Arikos the bed and kind of set up like a sleeping area on the floor since he can't fit on it anyway.
Okay.
Thanks, Echo.
No problem. I figured all that armor would give you a bad back, so it's good for you.
Ericos will fold up his cloak, which will be tiny under Echo's head, but he'll let you use it as a pillow.
Oh, thank you. I'll make sure not to get no food on it.
Don't even worry about it.
And Echo's gonna start eating the weird food. It smells good, so he's like, yeah, what the hell?
Yeah. It tastes exactly like steak, potatoes, and the vegetables are different. They're tastes that you haven't experienced before, but they're good. I mean, everything tastes good. I mean, it's all cooked, really well. It's seasoned. Yeah, I mean, it's a really good meal. There was also they also sent ale and then water as well. So there was a mug of ale and like a glass of water for everyone.
While Oz eats, he's just going to look through the books, the notes.
Okay.
I think you went over what most of them are roughly about last time. But
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Is there anything in particular you're looking for in any of the specific books?
I guess potentially any specific things on for instance how he was able to cast Dimension Door at will whenever he wanted, things of that nature. And then Oz is going to see if he can open the locked book.
Okay.
I believe it was magically locked, but he's just going to see if there's anything else or any other way to unlock it.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll an investigation check to see about the information you're looking for. You do find brief mention of a spell called... Oh, God, and now I'm just having a complete brain fart on the name of the spell, but I know what it is. Oh, am I going to have to look this up right now? Sorry, give me 1 second. I know what it is. I literally just looked it up before the session so that I knew what it was. And then I am just having a complete brain fart right now. So give me 1 second.
I think the other thing I would actually look for is how he is able to circumvent the wild magic.
Gotcha. There is brief mention of a spell called Contingency. It doesn't go into a lot of detail, but basically from what you can gather is that when certain conditions are met, you can basically like pre-cast a spell, and then when that condition is met, that spell will go off, no matter what.
Gotcha.
And you are unsure if the wild magic was affecting him or not. It didn't look like it was. Nothing happened, but you aren't necessarily sure if he was just getting lucky, or what happened there.
Right. Okay. Cool. That's good to know.
And then trying to open the locked book, you have no luck. Not even going to have you roll for it, because there's just no... At this point in time, there's no chance.
Okay. But that'll be most of Osric's night.
Okay, great.
Do we have windows in the rooms?
Yeah, you sure do.
Do they face out like towards the street, like front side of the building?
Yeah, they would. Yeah, you guys are on that side of the building, so well, I mean, it's in the center of town, so there's buildings on both sides, but you guys are kind of facing like the main thoroughfare through the town.
Okay. Then I think Lyric's gonna set a chair kind of next to the window, so I'm looking like parallel out of the window,
Okay.
trying to just keep an eye on the front door of the tavern if I can see it, as well as like what's happening in the street.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can't quite see the front door of the tavern because you'd have to be standing like at the window and like kind of like looking down to be able to see that. But you can see if anybody is kind of heading in the direction of the tavern, unless they were being really sneaky and like skirting right along the building line, basically. But yeah, I mean, people are coming and going. It definitely seems like the day is winding down, and you guys begin to hear music start to drift up from downstairs. Seems like it's probably their nighttime, or getting close to their nighttime here. And I would say after about another probably about another hour or so, it's like that switch just flips again and lights are off. It is dark out. Was there anything else you wanted to do in that hour before that happens, Lyric?
Nope.
No,
Nope,
okay.
Just watching the street.
Okay. Ericos, Echo, anything you guys wanted to do, or just taking long rests?
Yeah, Ericos is just going to eat and then take a long rest.
Okay, great.
Yeah, same here. Echo's probably just look around the room, look outside, and then just not to like spot anything, just to get like the view and then go to bed and relax.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's actually a really kind of pretty town. There are lots of murals and carvings and weird, art symbols and stuff kind of carved and painted onto the walls of all of the buildings and everything, but it's a really pretty town. Most everything is made of a really like pale kind of like whitish wood, and then the roofs are kind of like slate roofs, but yeah, it's a like slate tile roofs, but yeah, it's a very nice town. It's not huge, but it's fairly big.
Yeah, Echo's just take it all in. It's a new place, bigger than where he's from, so to him this place is huge.
I would say that Toyalis is probably the biggest city that you guys have come across since being brought to Ravenloft by the Mists.
Good to know.
It's bigger than Lakar is.
Quick side note, since I got my vitality leached or whatever it was by one of those golems last time,
Yeah.
I am sitting at 48 max health. Am I still feeling that pain, or?
Oh, shoot. I think so, but let me double check real quick, because I completely forgot about that. That was... I think that was a stone golem thing. Please let me still have access to this. Okay, cool. Nope, that's not what it is. It must have been maybe Clay Golem. It does not go away.
Oops.
Sorry, dude.
Sounds good. Huh?
Is there any kind of like? I don't remember at what point of the fight that happened to him. Was that when I was in the void, or did that happen
I
before?
think that was prior.
That was prior, because that was a fight before the last fight.
So would he like look any different to my medical eyes? Like, would he look like weaker or more frail, or any way that I could tell that something was wrong with him? Because otherwise, I would have no way to help him if I don't realize there's something wrong.
I mean, Oz, you would have definitely felt something happen. Would you have mentioned that? Because otherwise, I would say, because he's already kind of a frail person.
Yeah.
So I don't think you would necessarily notice anything unless he said something.
I agree. Yeah.
And or unless you were doing like a medical inspection of him, and there's no reason to do that unless he says something.
Agreed.
Given how frail Oz is, if he felt weaker than he does,
Mm-hmm.
he probably would have said something. I may have mentioned it for last time. I just don't remember.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, he definitely mentioned something, Erico. So yeah, that's definitely in the back of your mind.
Okay. So I'll just check on him in the morning then. That'll
Okay,
I'll roll that over as I go to sleep and deal with it in the morning.
sounds good. Yeah, sorry, dude. You're like the worst person that could have happened to.
I mean, it was only 13 health less, which is.
What, 40% of your health?
I mean, it's not, that 13's probably not going to save me if something big is heading my way.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Anything else before you guys take the long rest? No? Okay. So you guys take your 8-hour long rest, and yeah, right about the time that you guys are waking up, the lights switch back on. Just like it's like, you know, like a hooded lantern being open and shut. Like it goes from complete darkness to complete light with, you know, no sort of build up either way. It's either dark or it's light out.
Well, as soon as we wake up, I'll gather Echo and we'll go next door to these guys' room.
Okay. Are you guys just well, I'm guessing they locked their rooms, so are you guys knocking or?
Yeah, we'll knock.
Okay. So Lyric and Oz, you guys hear a knock on your door. Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
It's Echo.
You hear Erico say it's Echo.
Go unlock the door.
Okay. Yeah, and there you see Ericos, and you see, you know, Echo from his shoulders down.
Yeah, it was 2/3 of Echo.
Yeah.
So the first thing, since it was the last thing that Ericos was thinking about last night, the first thing that he would really want to know is, Oz, did the sleep kind of restore you? Do you feel better?
I mean,
No, you don't.
nope.
You feel exactly the same.
I'll do a medical examination on him. See.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll a medicine check first. Okay, that's really good. Yeah, something is definitely wrong with him. He's very gaunt and thin and frailer than he used to be. And you are positive that it is magical in nature. that something is causing him to be this way. It's not a disease, it's not a poison, it's not anything like that. Something magical happened to him that is currently keeping him in this frailer state.
Okay. So, I don't have Dispel Magic.
Okay.
But I will do... Let me try Greater Restoration, see if that works.
Okay. Are there components for Greater Restoration? Do you have them?
I do.
Okay, great. So you take out your diamond dust and kind of sprinkle it over Oz in your ritual while you're chanting to Zeus and holding your medallion to Zeus, your lightning bolt medallion with the other hand. And as you sprinkle the diamond dust on him, as soon as it hits his skin, it turns into smoke and starts to like come off him in like tendrils like that. And as those tendrils release off his body, you see him getting fuller and more filled out and just going back to himself. You are now back at your HP maximum. Greater Restoration is exactly what you needed to do for that. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I wasn't sure, but I was really the only thing that I had that I knew.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
might have a shot at it.
So go ahead and mark off your 5th level spell slot.
Yep, did that, and I'll make sure everybody knows that before we leave this town, I need to replace that diamond dust because that's part of my stash that I use for Revivify too.
Well, I appreciate it.
I'm just glad it worked.
Yeah.
So are we? What are we doing? Are we going shopping? Are we looking for the guy who walks through doors and goes bye-bye? Or do we find out why everyone knows Lyric?
Well, I think we can do some shopping and question people about Lyric at the same time. I definitely have to replace that diamond dust. That's a priority.
Did we get a map? Was that...
You did get a map, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yep. Yeah, Mars gave you a map. Or you found one in Romulized Manor, I think. Yeah, because Mars
One of the two.
Mars had his own, but then you guys found another one in Romulized Manor. So yeah, you guys have a map. Did you want to see the map real quick?
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, cool. No worries.
Lyric, how were you doing on arrows? Are you okay?
Oh, I bought a lot our first day in town. I think I'll be good for a long while.
Oh, okay, good. What about you, Oz? Anything else that you might need?
No, I think I am okay. Ericos, we do have a diamond worth roughly 100-ish gold.
Okay.
So something you can probably just get ground to dust if you
Yeah,
need.
that'd be totally fine too. 100%.
And if there is a jeweler or anything in town, we have a lot of money to spend, so that is no object.
Now, honestly, I wouldn't mind getting that 100 gold worth of diamond dust replaced and then get 300 more, so I have double what I need for Revivify. Just in case we get stuck somewhere where there's no way to replace it. Plus, it would also give me the ability to use the Greater Restoration sometimes too.
Yeah.
So that's,
And we have like 35 rings off of.
yeah, so definitely like a jeweler shop is where I need to go.
We have stuff to get rid of.
Yeah.
Okay. So shortly after you guys wake up, and you guys are kind of talking, you hear a knock at your door, and you hear a female voice say, "We have breakfast for you, Master Lyric."
I'll go and open the door. Oh, thank you. Please do bring it in.
Okay, and you see she has a tray with actually 4 plates of food on it. Yours was just the first room. And she looks kind of surprised to see all 4 of you just in this one room. But she's very nervous and shy around you, and kind of like is doing that thing where she like doesn't really make eye contact with you, Lyric. And she just like she's kind of um like in a constant curtsy almost around you. But yeah, she sets out the food and then just kind of like awkwardly curtsies again and walks out of the room. She was a younger human woman, probably late teens, early 20s. She had kind of like sandy hair, green eyes. She was cute, a little bit plump, but not overly. But she was a cute little girl.
Ooh, Master Lyric. And Echo's gonna kind of curtsy to him.
Would you like Echo to feed you, Master Lyric?
Hey, Richard.
Just gonna start
my honor.
dropping plates in front of each of them.
Oh, there's no reason to waste food. Come on, we were just joking. Echo's gonna scoop his food off the floor and still eat it.
All in good fun.
I'm eager to get back on the road. I think we carry out our business in town and figure out our next destination. I think chasing after Romuli, if we can, should be our first priority.
Well, where would he even go? Don't know where he would run off to unless you think he would come back home. Do you think he would come for those body chunks?
No. Seems like he can get bodies anywhere.
Should we be worried? Because is he one of those wizards that could do whatever they want? Maybe he'll tell his friends and they'll come after us.
Given the situation, just in general of what seems to be going on, I think that is a very plausible thing that could happen.
He seems like a bully, and I know bullies, and that's what they do. They like to get friends and pick on people when they can't do it themselves.
And that's why we are the people that are their own size.
Yeah.
Maybe not you, you're just abnormally tall now.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to. I peed on my boot the other night. The trajectory is different now.
I guess as long as you cleaned it.
I think the question everyone wants to know is, did everything get bigger?
Just rocking the baby carrot. Well, let's see this town. It's the people seem nice, and well, we could go through the shops.
Yeah, let's see if we can find a jeweler first.
And with Lyric, we could get discounts.
I don't think that's a good use of this notoriety. These are hardworking, honest people, and I don't want to rob them of the gold they've earned.
Oh, no, not rob. No, I wouldn't do that. Just take a little bit off the top. Like when you have a muffin and you need to cut the big part off to put butter on it.
That might be the strangest analogy you've ever made, Echo. I normally I can put that together. I can't this time.
You don't put butter on muffins?
No, no, no. The butter on the muffin makes sense. You put the top back on?
Sometimes, unless you drop it, then you shouldn't eat it. Unless you blow on it first.
He is right. In the 5-second rule.
You see, Oz knows. You need to get out more, Lyric.
All right.
While we're eating, Oz is going to study the map.
Okay.
Are there any features of the map that I would have come across in Romulai's notes or journals, anything like that?
Yeah, I think that it would have definitely made reference to the lacuna, which is, it actually goes into, it depends on how much you had wanted to read about it. Like if you saw the lacuna, and then, it basically starts off with, this, knee-high misty region, of Haslan seems to be spreading, and then if you want to keep reading, there is more, but it just depends on, because I know you were just kind of looking through and you weren't specifically looking at that, but you definitely see the lacuna. You see you saw a heading for the Fleshless Forests, and then the Mound of the Worm and Veneficus. Oh, and also Glutton Kettle.
Okay, gotcha.
Those, I mean, just kind of at a glance, those would have been the things that you would have seen, just kind of quickly glancing through.
Okay. Yeah,
and
I don't think... Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Just basic information on them, because you would have, probably read at least the first couple sentences. The lacuna is supposedly very dangerous. People who step into it kind of, even though it appears to be only knee-high, when they step into it, they kind of fall into it, and who knows where they go. Veneficus is the tower that's on top of the Red Rise, where Haslick rules this land from. He's very reclusive there, and very, very, very few people, only his top apprentices, really get invited there. The Mound of the Worm is where there are a bunch of these large, everything devouring purple worms. And you do see notes, you just kind of see the name Grave Drinker, but you don't read too much else into it. The Fleshless Forest is kind of what it sounds like. It's a bunch of trees that are stripped completely bare. And he mentions that it seems to have some strange properties. And then, it would go into a little bit more detail there. And then Glutton Kettle appears to be a place where strange and dangerous creatures kind of emerge from every so often, and typically make their way to Toyalis and trouble the town.
Yeah, he wouldn't have looked too deep into any of them.
Yeah, that's kind of just like the headings, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect. Do we want to go shopping now, or did we want to do anything else before we left? I know we're waiting potentially on a missive.
Yeah, I'm hoping that while we're out and about in town getting our stuff and talking to people, that whatever surprise this guy has for us will show up in whatever form it is. I mean, for all I know, his message could be an assassin, so we should just
Right.
pay attention. Could also be an invitation to lunch, who knows?
Hopefully. I would prefer that.
The assassin? Okay.
No, lunch.
I'll make a note of that.
Lunch with an assassin.
Oz wants lunch with assassin. Okay, got it.
I guess the lunch could be poisoned, so...
Okay, so you guys are heading out into Toyalis to see if you can find, like, a jeweler.
Yeah, that's going to be the first stop, I think.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are kind of walking through town, and the first thing that you would probably see in here would be the clanging of a blacksmith. There's a blacksmith that's a couple of buildings down from the Runaway Apprentice. It has a sign out front with a bright blue beaming blacksmith's hammer with like rays of light just like cascading off of it, and it is called on the sign under the hammer it says the Enchanted Hammer. You keep going, and kind of across the street from that, but down just a little ways, is another building that has a silver sign out front, with that has like a silver scrolled like paper and quill, and then underneath up top it says quizzical, and then under the quill and paper it says quillery, so it says quizzical quillery. Right next to that is a shop that has a sign with just words, because the name is fairly long and it takes up the entire sign, but it reads Heroic Herbs and Positively Perfect Potions. Oh, oops. Sorry, 1 second. Just dropped something. Where'd it go? God dang it. Whatever. I will find it after the session. You're not seeing a jewelry shop. You come across a kind of like an older building by the standards of this town that isn't quite as nice, that has a sign. It's more like a plank of wood out front, that has the words carved into it, Bits and Baubles. And then probably the closest thing that you could find to what would be maybe a jewelry shop is you do eventually find a shop that is called Quality Components and Commodities. That would probably be the closest thing to like an actual jewelry shop that you guys could find.
That might have what we need.
I would agree with you.
Ericos will go into the commodities.
Okay. Yeah, so you head in there, and you are greeted by a half-elf with light complexion, a male half-elf with light complexion, blonde hair that's in two braids that kind of like come down and then are like in front of his shoulders. He's slender, like elves typically are, but he greets you all. Ah, what a fine day to see a new customer. What can I help you with?
Greetings, my name is
Sorry, just 1 second.
Ericos.
Is everybody coming with you? Like Lyric, Echo, Oz, are you guys coming in as well? Mostly Lyric. Lyric, are you going in too?
Yeah, I'm going in with
Okay.
Ericos.
Okay. So Ericos goes in first, and he says that greeting, and then he catches sight of Lyric and goes, "Oh, what an absolute honor. Please come in. I'll show you my finest wares."
Oh, thank you. I've never been treated like this.
Well, when you travel with a hero such as Lyric, the red carpet gets rolled out for you, so to say.
Echo starts looking around for a red carpet.
Ericos, it's very nice to meet you.
It's my pleasure, sir. We're looking for some commodities and components.
Well, I dare say you've come to the right place, my good chap.
Specifically, I'm looking for diamond dust. Is that something you carry or can create?
Indeed it is. I believe that I do have a little bit of diamond dust right now. It's fairly rare in these parts because there's not really any working mines in the area, but that type of stuff does occasionally come across here. As you know, this is a land that highly favors magic, so I always want to make sure to have the things that those that are magically inclined want and need when they pass through. Otherwise, it's bad for business. So, yes, I do happen to have a little bit of diamond dust on me.
How much do you have? I'm looking for about 400 gold pieces worth.
Unfortunately, I don't have quite that much. I probably could scrounge together about half of that.
If we were to give you a diamond, could you reduce that to dust?
Yes, I don't see why not.
How long would that take?
Well, diamonds are fairly tough, as I'm sure you know. One of the strongest materials that you can really find. So I would say give me probably till the end of the day, and I could probably have that accomplished. It depends on how big the diamond is that you're wanting, kind of ground down.
I'll look over at Lyric and Oz because I don't know who has that diamond.
It's just in the bag of holding.
Just in the bag. Lyric, can we show the diamond?
Yeah, I'll pull it out. I don't know how big it would be.
Yeah.
How much is it worth?
I think
100.
100 gold.
100 gold? Okay. Yeah, so it wouldn't be terribly big. Diamonds aren't very big for their value. They're worth a lot of money, so it would be a relatively small diamond as diamonds go. Oh, yes, one that size, I could probably have that done by midday.
Do we have any other of those like rings or anything that have any small diamonds on them?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's 35 rings that are just general, so...
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Well,
we do have
great.
we have a bag of mixed gems that's worth 500 total. I don't know if there would be any diamonds in that mix.
No. I would have specifically told you guys if you had any diamonds and any of that stuff, because I know they're so important.
Well, we'll hand the diamond over, and if you could reduce this, that would be great. And I will absolutely buy the rest of the dust off you as well, and we'll pay you for crushing this diamond as well.
Oh, if you're going to be a customer and buy the 200 gold worth of diamond dust, I will take care of this for you at no cost, especially seeing as you're a friend of a good Lyric here.
Why, thank you.
Of course.
And, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Oz, is there any components or things that anybody else needs? Or want to look at the oddities?
Nothing that I really need. Though I did have a question. You said that sometimes diamond dust comes into your purview.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it come from? And I'll actually pull out the map. Because we're here in Toyalis, and I don't really see anywhere else, maybe outside of Beneficus, or maybe is that Remule that might be habitable?
Yes, Romuli is another town here.
Okay, gotcha. So, do you guys trade with them, or is that? I mean, it looks like it's pretty far, but.
Wait, okay, I'm confused now for a second. What was the wizard's name that you guys are chasing?
Romuli.
Yeah, that's the wrong name. You guys were thinking of the city Romuli then, because I don't think that was his name.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I lost my notes.
It's all good.
We will just give him a new name. He will be Erasmus.
That works.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have no idea where I put those notes. Yeah, because
totally...
I saw Ramuli there, and I was like, wait, that's not right.
Well, I have Romuli in my notes as Haslin's apprentice.
Okay, I must have gotten myself confused then and did it off the name of that. I totally did not mean to do that, so that is my fault, 100%. So
we're going with Erasmus.
yeah, Erasmus will be his name. Sorry about that, guys.
Cool.
Yes, well, occasionally the odd traveler will come through that will have a diamond or two on them, and I always make sure to try and purchase those whenever available. Also, and this is how I get most of my supply, when the creatures that come out of Glutton Kettle just through the canyon here, come by town and cause havoc, and we eventually kill them. Some of them have diamonds on them, and it actually happens fairly frequently. So I would say that's where I get most of my diamonds and diamond dust.
Okay, interesting. And this is out of curiosity because we saw some odd creatures on the way here. Hard to really describe them. Four-legged creatures, very fiery, have almost, long trunk-like noses, things like that. Are those common, or?
Oh, you must be talking about the elephants. Yes, the elephants do wander. They tend to live in the canyon here. But more towards the canyon with the plateaus. That tends to be their stomping ground. Okay. And he kind of chuckles to himself as he says stomping ground.
All right. Well, that gives us some perspective. We're new here, so it's trying to get our bearings with things.
Oh, where did you all come from, if you don't mind me asking?
Already forgotten the name of it. It's been so long since I've used it.
Falkovnia?
Falkovnia, yeah, there it is.
Falkovnia? Is that here in Haslin? I've never heard of it. It's not on any map I've seen.
No, it's outside the mists, if you know what those are.
Oh, the Lacuna, you mean?
I don't know, to be honest.
Is that where the Lacuna leads? Is this Falkovnia?
Apparently it might lead to a bunch of places.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. We've always been curious as to where that leads, as most people who step foot in it never come out again, and those who do just are typically stark raving mad and just are yelling and screaming of unspeakable horrors that they saw while in those mists.
But that sound like what we kind of went through in terms of what we were seeing in the sky and all that fun stuff when we first arrived here?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's not something I understand.
For one thing, you guys saw part of the Lacuna when you were in the canyon, and it is a much darker, denser, almost fog-like thing than a mist. So it does not look like the actual mist that you guys are used to traversing through.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. It's not something I'm well versed in, so.
I am interested in purchasing. If you have, I've started dabbling with, really elementary magic recently. So if you
Yes.
carry a collection of basic spellcasting components. I would like to buy that.
Yes. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I think I want to just buy a component pouch.
Okay. Yeah, you could buy a component pouch easily enough.
Yep.
Let me look. Do you have it handy on how much it is or no?
I think it's 25 gold.
That sounds
That's from
right.
memory.
Yeah, we can go with 20. For you, he would offer it to you for 20. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Lyric would not know better than to question that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is 25. So yeah, he would offer it to you for 20. And he doesn't even mention the fact that it's normally 25. He just says, "Oh yeah, for you, that would be 20 gold."
Looking around, does anything stand out to Echo?
There's lots of strange stuff in here. There's like pig's feet and wings off butterflies and, a jar of salt and, just all sorts of strange stuff that might interest Echo. Honestly.
Seeing the jar and the pig's feet, did you have pickles?
I'm not really a restaurant. These items aren't typically for eating, though. I suppose you could eat, like, the pig's feet, I guess. No, I don't believe that pickles are a component in any spells I've ever heard of.
It's a wonderful component in the spell of hunger.
Well, I can't argue with you there. But alas, that is not really my business. I'm sorry. And what was your name, tall one? As he looks up at you.
Hi, I am Echo. Nice to meet you.
Echo, nice to meet you. I am Lou Varese. And sorry, he would have introduced himself sooner, especially to Lyric.
This is a lovely shop you have here.
Oh, thank you. I really quite appreciate that. It's I've owned it for about 5 years now and built it from the ground up, and I think that it's doing it's doing quite a good job for me so far.
Oh, I love to hear that. Business is getting built from the ground up. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, young Echo. I plan on it. Or should I say tall Echo? Is that what people call you, tall Echo? Or big Echo?
No, they usually just call me Echo. You could call me whatever you like.
Okay, well, I'll stick with Echo then.
Thank you for helping my friend with the diamonds. It's very important for him, so make sure you do a wonderful job. Sometimes he could be a bit cranky.
Oh, have no fear on that. Lou Varese does nothing but the finest of jobs.
Echo's gonna give him 2 big thumbs up with a fangy grin.
He returns your smile.
Lou, on the off chance, just because this is something we've encountered since we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say loud just in case, but Haslin and his gang, I suppose, do they do business here, or do they stick to their own devices? And not like here specifically, just kind of in Toyalis in general.
Do you mean Haslick and his apprentices?
Correct. Yes.
Sorry. Yes, his apprentices do come by here on occasion, and I have done business with them, yes. I've never seen Haslick himself. I hear that he really keeps to himself in his tower.
And that's Beneficus, is that right?
I believe that's what it's called, yes.
Okay. And When he said that he does business with Haslick and his apprentices,
Apprenti?
did he? I guess did he give off any indication that they're very frequent customers? Because it at least to Oz, it would seem odd that there's a component store in a city that he hasn't really seen any other magic users, and has only really heard of magic users being not really reviled, but something to be feared.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good point. They don't come by quite often, and I'll be honest with you, most of the business that I do is during about just 2 or 3 weeks out of the year. That's why I set up this shop, was to capitalize on the kind of circus that they bring to town when all of his apprentices come through and put on the carnival and all of the games and everything such as that. They tend to buy quite a few components. I occasionally get the random apprentice or people such as yourself that have need of things like this just passing through. In fact, there was a gentleman in here just maybe 2 days ago that was he had actually bought my last diamond by the name of Rudolph, I believe. Most of my business is done during those couple weeks when the big procession comes through. It's a big affair, a big to-do.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I've only heard small smatterings of conversation about the circus, so. Okay, yeah, I was just curious. Yeah, I was told not to let people know that we have magic users in the group, so.
Yes, that's probably best, honestly. I even get a few strange looks from people in town most of the time, just because I do kind of rub elbows with his apprentices from time to time. Though, to tell you the truth, part of the reason that I started this shop is simply because of the fact I figured that if I supply their components, they will have little to no reason to do anything to me. People typically go missing during that carnival, either taken because they have some magical ability and they want to be taken for apprentices, or who knows what other reason, or who knows why they take these people, because we typically never see them again. So I figured if I start a component shop and am useful to them, that they will have little reason to harm me or try to take me away. But it's also provided quite a good living.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, hopefully you'll be getting a few less odd looks now that Lyric has ventured into your shop.
I'm sure it can't hurt. He has been quite the talk of the town.
Was there any particular source of that talk? This was kind of
I was
a shock, but
yeah, it was just not but a couple days ago, maybe 2 days ago, maybe the same day that Rudolph came through, that I was in the Runaway Apprentice, and Lyric's name was just a buzz. Everyone was talking about him. This great hero that stands up for the common folk and brings light to the dark places. I don't know if it started, with anyone in particular. The Rudolph fellow didn't mention him when he came through, so I'm unsure.
This Rudolph, did anything stand out about him? A certain way he looked or dressed?
Yes, he was a bit older, but he was still wearing quite heavy armor. He did have. He was pretty heavily armed and armored. He had some nasty scars on his face and on his hands that I could see. The rest of him was pretty well covered up. I suppose on his neck as well. Gray hair. I mean, other than that, I can't recall too much. He seemed to be a very intelligent individual. We talked for quite a while about, different components and their uses and qualities and rarities and such like that.
Did he mention where he was going after this?
I believe he said he was staying in town for a short while. He said he didn't really say why he was here, but he said that he was waiting for something and that he would be, in Toyalis until that happened, probably. I don't know if he is still here, though. I mean, that was 2 days ago.
Right.
I certainly haven't seen him since.
Well, something we can always ask around for.
Well, I only have one other thing I'd like to ask you about. We have quite a collection of rings and art that you may be interested in, or you could point us in the direction of someone in town who could be interested in. I think we'd like to offload some of this before we move on.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I would probably be interested in the jewelry. A lot of that can be, melted down or, taken to form its base components. Please show me what you have.
Yep, I'll start laying out those 35 rings that we pulled off
fingers.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I tell you how much they were worth or no?
It was
have it written down.
indeterminate worth, is what
It was
said.
indeterminate. Okay. So let's do this then. 35. Okay. So I will roll this. They are worth 800 gold. Wait. Sorry. Give me a second. I actually have to do math on this. I was thinking one thing and then I was doing math completely wrong. 875 gold is what they're worth. Yes, I would happily give you. It takes him a little while of kind of going through and appraising them and everything, and he gets his little, magnifying glass out and is looking at them, especially the ones with gems and such like that. And he comes up with the final figure of, I would be willing to offer you 875 gold for this lot here.
Quite agreeable to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that seems fair.
And do you know if there's anyone in town who would be interested in buying these paintings?
Oh, paintings. Interesting. We don't get too much art through here besides the art that you see on the buildings, but I would perhaps try, maybe go see, maybe go see old Remy Puddlefoot at Bits and Baubles, or perhaps Tannerly Shea at Quizzical Quillery has quite the fine taste, so she might be interested in some art pieces.
Guess we'll head there next, then.
Sounds good.
Is that all you will require from me today?
Yeah, we'll be by a little bit later around lunchtime to pick up the diamond dust.
Sounds good. I will have
And
it
thank
ready
you.
for you. Yes, of course. Any friend of Lyric's is a friend of mine.
make sure you're eating 3 square meals a day.
I certainly will, Echo. Here, you know what? As a token of our newfound friendship, Echo, you can have these pig's feet.
Echo gets so really excited. He grabs him. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You need a gift. He gives him
It's
the
really
mall.
not necessary. Did you say you give him the maul?
Yep.
Yeah, you pull out this maul and he just kind of cocks his head to the side and, yes, if you could just maybe set it there, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
But
You're welcome.
We can certainly say we're friends now, though.
Definitely take good care of her. She likes to be rubbed before bed. She's gotten me through a lot of things, and she'll be a good friend to you.
Oh, okay. I will make sure to rub her before bed.
Her name is Bunny, by the way.
Sorry, something in my throat. You said her name was Bunny, and he's kind of like covering his mouth with his hands right now.
Yes, Bunny. That's her name.
What a cute name. I really. Sorry, pardon me. I really like it.
Thank you. I gave her that name because she's so cute.
I can see that. And he has just a big smile on his face.
Echo is proud of himself and his pig's feet. He's gonna go outside licking them.
Okay. They are salty.
Perfect.
Echo, you are something special.
I make friends wherever I go.
That is an understatement.
Ericos.
Yeah.
You with your passive. Well, actually, what are your guys' passive insights? It would just be like 10 plus whatever your insight plus is.
Mine's 19.
Oh, holy crap! Okay.
14.
Yeah.
11.
What was that, Lyric?
14.
14. Okay, so yeah, so Lyric and Ericos, you could definitely tell that he was really, really fighting back laughter and was trying to kind of disguise it as like choking or coughing a little bit when Echo mentioned that his maul was named Bunny. He was definitely cracking up.
Yeah, Ericos would probably just be nodding his head sagely, fully expecting that reaction. Alright, where would you guys like to go next?
Well, if we're gonna sell the art, I would say Bits and Bobbles is probably the better place for us to go, because
Yeah.
there might be potions and things of that nature there.
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay, so you guys are heading to Bits and Bobbles. This is down a little ways back towards the inn, and you head up to it, and it is a little more than a shack, really. It's not terribly big. It's maybe 15 feet wide by maybe like 20 feet deep. So, you know, it's decent size, I guess, but it's not big or anything like that. And there's cracks in the planks that you can kind of see inside. And from what you see, it looks like an absolute mess in there. Like there is one in particular kind of like hole in one of the, like, you know, when you see like a board that has like a knot hole from the tree on it, there's one that's fairly big, and you can see through, and it looks like stuff is just stacked and piled on each other. But you head in, and sitting on top of a desk on the other side that probably yeah, you would all be able to see it. You all are medium sized. You see an older halfling gentleman, presumably Remy Puddlefoot, that he has an interesting beard. It's like 4 strips, like a strip like here on each side, and then a strip down, and then like 2 strips like coming off of like the corners of his mouth, and then there are rings like put around the entirety of these little beard ponytail things that he has. His head is completely shaved. He does have like a wicked, what looks like maybe like burn or acid burn or something like that, kind of starting on the left side of his forehead and going back. And you're guessing that's probably why he shaves his head bald, because he would only have like half a head of hair, because it's like burned or acid damage on the other side. He has one eye that is completely clouded over in gray, and the other one is just dark. Can't really tell the color from here. But he looks up as you guys open the very creaky door. Customers! What can I do for you?
Well, we're going to do a little bit of looking around, and then we have some stuff to offer you as well.
Yeah, well, I'm always in the market to sell or trade.
You're cutting in and out on that.
I'm always in the market to sell or trade. Maybe the thing doesn't like my voice that I'm doing.
Ouch.
Mr. Puddlefoot, I presume. What is the most interesting thing?
How'd you know my name?
Oh, Mr. Verace sent us this way. Down at Quality Components.
Okay, but I got my eye on you. And he seems to be the first person that is not in awe of you, Lyric. He seems to have no clue who you are whatsoever.
Interesting. Well, like I said, what would you say is your most interesting item in stock?
Well, I guess that depends on who's asking. I mean, what do you consider interesting?
Sorry, I can't hear you at all.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'll just stop doing the voice.
Okay.
Well, I guess that depends on what you consider interesting. It depends on who's asking. Can you hear that one? Okay. That sucks. Won't even pick up my freaking awesome voice.
I think it was when you were leaning back a little bit, because you were kind of leaning in and out.
It shouldn't matter. This mic picks up everything. I mean, I was literally under my desk earlier messing with cables and talking to somebody on Discord, and they could hear me just fine. So, yeah, it's just the high pitch of it. It's not registering the high pitch. I mean, what would you consider interesting? What are you looking for?
Suppose I'm looking for something unusual, something that might put somebody off guard, make for a good prank, that kind of thing.
Ask him if he has pickles.
I heard that,
Or
and
pickles.
I do have pickles. If you want some pickles, they're in a jar right over there.
Echo's gonna go for the whole jar.
Mind you, you break it, you buy it.
Can I have the whole jar? Buy the whole jar? How much are these pickles? Do you have bread?
Well, these are special pickles, you see. You just can't get these pickles anywhere. These are pickles from within the Lacuna itself, the only ones known to have ever grown there. So those pickles will be 5 gold.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, absolutely.
I might as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Echo believes him and is just completely amazed.
Oh, I don't have. Yeah, Oz, he is so full of shit. Lyric,
I don't
you
say a
don't
word.
know. He is hard to read. He's just so eccentric and just kind of all over the place that he's just hard to read.
I look at Echo, then I look at then I look at the halfling and good old Remy, and I don't say a word.
But for you, young man, yes, I have this little token here. See that if you throw it onto the ground or like put it in the ground, it just sprouts up into a tree. That'd be a pretty good prank, don't you think?
That is exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. Perfect.
He kind of goes back around behind you and starts like rummaging through stuff. He's just kind of like digging stuff, like throwing it up on other piles of stuff. And finally, he finds this little like jade figurine of a pine tree, basically, and he waddles back over and kind of like climbs back up on his desk so that he's even height with all of you except for Echo again. And holds it out in his hand and says, "Well, now see, this has a special story about it. Word is that this is actually a shard off the mother tree herself." So 500 gold.
The mother tree? I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It's the tree that gave life to all the other trees in existence.
I make another insight check.
Yep, go for it. Yeah, I mean, well, here, let me roll for it. Yeah, you really think he's telling the truth. It sounds a little strange, but I mean,
Yeah. To be honest, that's a little steep.
well, what
That's
could
a sprouting tree.
you afford?
Well, how about this? We've got a couple of art pieces we'd like to find a loving home.
What
Maybe we
kind
could
of
arrange a
art?
trade.
And he gets kind of like a little like grin. What kind of art?
I'll pull out the paintings, so it's
Any with shall I say interesting pictures on them?
you can decide for yourself.
He kind of starts like looking through them. And like when he sees like a regular one, like a beautiful painting that's just like regular, has, like depicts like a war scene or whatever, he just gets kind of like a look of disgust and tosses it off to the side. And he finally gets to one that is women and men in this garden, and all of them are naked, and they're all just like eating fruit and lounging about and stuff like that. And his eyes get big. I quite like this one. But I don't think that it's still worth the entire fragment of the mother tree, you see? maybe 75 gold and the painting, and we'll call it even.
All right, I'm trying to figure out where, because I want to sell them like a story. I'm trying to figure out where we got these from, but I didn't put it in my notes.
It was from the Eye Drake, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
the
Was
Eye
it?
Drake.
Was
Yeah.
it the Eye Drake?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, you seem like a man that appreciates a good story.
Absolutely.
All 5 of these paintings were under guard by an incredible otherworldly being, a dragon with hundreds of eyes.
Well, now I'm jealous. I've only got one good eye. It gets hundreds? That's hardly fair, wouldn't you say?
Exactly.
But I don't understand how this makes it worth the painting worth more.
Well, isn't that the value of art? You know, it's all about the story you can tell.
I guess
Where
that's
did this come from? What
guess that's
inspired
a
the
good
artist?
point.
What became of the artist?
That is a good point. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. You do not get expertise with this guy.
Okay, so this will be -4 from whatever I roll then.
Okay.
I can't roll shit.
Sorry, dude. Oh, so it's a 9 then. I was thinking 13. That's not so bad. Let me roll for him, just to be fair about it. Yeah, I rolled a natural 20. Well, the story's good and all, but I don't really plan on selling this piece of art. It's going to be for personal consumption, let's say. And the story doesn't necessarily make it worth more to me, though I appreciate the trouble that you went through in getting it. So what do you say? 75 gold in the painting and we have a deal?
Yeah, all right.
Great. And he hands over the it's a Qualls feather token of a tree. So I'll link it after the session. But basically I think if you like put it into ground, it sprouts into a tree just like a certain amount of time later.
Okay. And then, so the paintings, there was one that was valued at 250 and 4 valued at 100. So which one would this be?
That would have been one of the 100 value paintings.
Okay, great.
He obviously just valued it much higher.
Not creepy at all.
Nope, not at all. Actually, I can get Qualls for you right now. Tree. You must be outdoors to use this token. You can use an action to touch it to an unoccupied space on the ground. The token disappears, and in its place, a non-magical oak tree springs into existence. The tree is 60 feet tall and has a 5-foot diameter trunk, and its branches at the top spread out in a 20-foot radius. So I'll put that into the treasure Discord. Now, mind you, that's not my only useful bits and bobs that I have around here. I do have a lot of stuff, so it's hard to keep track of everything, but feel free to peruse, and if you find anything that catches your eye, be happy to make a deal.
It just kind of leans in towards Ericos and whispers, "He's scaring me. I kind of want to leave."
Yeah, Ericos agrees with that sentiment, and he just starts nudging Echo towards the door while Echo's eating his grossness.
Okay.
No, I think as of right now, we are all good. Do you need anything else, Lyric? Or Echo?
Do you have bread?
I don't think I have any bread, but I'm sure there's some more magical doodads in here if you guys are interested in stuff like that.
I'm really
I,
just in the
I,
mood
re-
for
I,
a pickle.
I remember there being, I don't know exactly where it is, but if you could find it, there was this boat that folds up, and you could like fold it down real small, and then it turns into a boat when you fold it up. I think it can be different sizes and stuff. It was pretty cool. Like I said, you'd have to find it. It's in its small form right now, and I don't know where it is. But if you could find it, it's a pretty interesting, magical boat.
Got Echo's attention now. He's gonna start looking for it.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Oh, this would be good.
Holy shit. Yeah, after like 30 minutes of searching through this place, you actually find it. And it is, here, let me, oh crap, no. Hit the
I
wrong
am just
thing.
imagining Echo going around with soggy pickle fingers, touching all
Yes,
sorts of
everything.
things.
He is dripping pickle juice on everything. He's got the pickle jar open while he's looking at stuff and it's sloshing on stuff. Yeah, it's a mess. Strangely enough, the guy doesn't seem to mind at all.
So far, Echo is loving this town. Everybody's nice. They give him snacks.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like it's a wooden box that is 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 6 inches deep.
Or is this it?
Oh, yeah, you found it. Wow, that was quick. Good for you. There's a lot of stuff in here.
Well, how much for this?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, it actually, it can become two different kinds of boats, actually. The first one is, a boat that can hold about 4 people, comfortably, and, has a pair of oars and an anchor, a mast, and then the second boat is even bigger. It's like 24 feet long and can hold 15 people comfortably. Got 5 sets of oars, a steering oar, an anchor, a deck cabin, a mast with a square sail. It's quite nice. So I would probably have to price this at about let's say 1,250 gold. Boats aren't cheap, and this is a magical one that folds up. I'm sure if you were to buy a boat that big somewhere else, it would probably cost quite a bit more than that. This is a deal I'm giving you.
So Echo doesn't know that number. So he's going to act like he's thinking. Goes, how about 25 gold and I share 2 of my pickles with you?
Yeah, we're quite a ways off on the numbers there. If you could go up by about, 1,000 gold on that, I think we could make a deal.
Can you show me that in fingers? How much?
That's a lot of fingers. Let me do it on paper.
Oh, of course. Yes, he's going to look towards the rest of the group. Working.
Okay, so he pulls out a sheet of paper and starts making tally marks up to 1,000.
And Echo starts getting confused after like the number 7.
No, he's not putting numbers. He's just doing tally marks, just straight lines.
After counting up to like 7, Echo's
Okay.
pretty much lost. He only heard 25 gold before, so he repeated it. I need to speak with my my coin handler. Oz, can you come here?
Yeah.
Did you guys leave while in this half hour that Echo was searching, or did you stay with them?
I was trying to edge him out the door, and I think Oz was just kind of hanging out by me. If Echo didn't leave, then I would have just stood at the door watching him.
Okay. Fair enough.
What are you having trouble with, Echo?
So this boat is it's magical, and it cost those marks there. And Echo's gonna reach into his bag where he keeps his gold, and he's gonna show us, is this enough? And there's only like 70 pieces in there.
If only it was enough. No, you would need about a bag's worth of gold.
Like a cookie bag, or like like a meat bag.
Meat bag.
Or like
that's
a pickle jar's worth, or
Yeah,
Everything's measured in food. My good sir, I'll come back with more. Hold on to the boat and don't lose it.
it'd be hard to lose, but sure. And if you want to see how it works, we can take it outside, and I can speak the command word, and we can watch it turn into a boat. If you don't believe me, it really is quite impressive.
Should we do this?
I guess it doesn't hurt to confirm that it's magical. I could ritual cast, but that would mean we're 10 more minutes in this store, and he's scaring me more and more by the minute. So.
And by the way, he has already taken like tacks and tacked that painting up on the wall where he can see it right from his desk.
Sure, Remy, why don't we go see how the boat works?
Fantastic, let's go. And he grabs the box and hops down off of his desk there that's just cluttered with all sorts of papers and stuff. And that one piece of paper that he probably got to like 50 check marks on it. And he kind of waddles outside and just like tosses the box on the ground with wild abandon, just like not really caring. He tosses it out like 5 feet in front of him, and yells, "Magellan!" And it rapidly unfolds into a boat. It's about 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 2 feet deep. Has one pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, and a lateen sail.
This is the most powerful magic I've ever seen.
Well, I certainly hope that isn't the case. That don't want you to be surprised, but Oz looks to Lyric and Ericos. Do we want this?
If we can fit in it, I don't think I'd have a problem.
Well, do you want... If you're worried about fitting it, do you want to see the bigger size?
Sure.
Great, let's stand back more. It's pretty big. So he kind of gets you guys back, and then he yells out, "Flagellan!" And it turns into a ship that is 24 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 6 feet deep. It has a deck, rowing seats, 5 sets of oars, a steering oar, an anchor, a deck cabin, a mast with a square sail, and looks like it could hold 15 medium creatures comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, if we have the funds, it can't hurt.
Okay. That's fine. I will pull out the ice crystal that emits the cone of cold.
Yeah.
I know that our expert negotiator can hardly keep a straight face with that. You mentioned it was about 1,000 gold.
Oh, the boat?
Boat, yeah.
Yeah, he had gone down to 1,025 gold on it.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the ice crystal. It's like, when did I
yeah.
give that a price?
Yeah, I don't know the price on it either, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say, Remy, how about this? It's an ice crystal that, well, you know, it emits vast,
How's
a
it not?
vast area of ice.
How's it not melting? That doesn't make any sense.
Never melts. It is magical.
Huh. Well, look at that. You've got magic stuff too.
We do. How about for the boat?
I knew I liked you guys.
For the boat, this crystal, or never melting ice, and 600 gold.
What does the crystal do?
Fair enough. I will scoop 600 gold out of the bag of holding. And what were the command words for the boat?
Magellan for the small boat, Flagellin for the big boat. And then he will tell you that the command word to make it turn back into a box is zip it.
Zip it?
Zip it. Zippit. He came up with these words himself.
I don't doubt it.
Did you get that, Oz? It's waffles, pancakes, and to make it small, cheese.
Echo, just let me handle the boat. I'll take care of it. I'll make sure that we're all able. We're using the right boat at the right time.
I trust you. I trust you very much.
You can be our. You will be the rower. Very important job.
I love rowing.
Sorry, he asked what the ice crystal does.
It can be used for a few purposes. It can be a personal. If you ever fear that your store will be broken into, you can set it to blast intruders with ice.
Like a trap?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't have any traps. I like the sound of that.
So
Wait,
once you-
I mean, I don't have any traps that you know about.
Well, thankfully they did not spring on us. But once you're attuned to the crystal, you can do a few things with it. Could probably chill drinks pretty well as well, if I had to take a shot in the dark.
You know what? That looks interesting. You've got yourself a deal.
Glad to hear it. I will hesitate and then shake his hand.
Okay. Yeah, he shakes your hand vigorously. His hands are clammy and sweaty.
I'm sure they are.
And yeah, he yells, "Zip it!" And the big boat just like rapidly folds back into the 12-inch long, 6-inch wide, 6-inch deep box. And yeah, he takes the ice crystal from you and your 600 gold, and a deal is struck.
We have a boat.
Okay.
Before we depart, Mr. Puddlefoot, I've got one more question, maybe really two. Do you spend much time in the Runaway Apprentice, and have you met a man named Rudolph in the past few days?
I don't go to the Runaway Apprentice much. I mostly keep to myself. I just kind of stay here in my shop and home here. This is where I live too, see? Rudolph. Older man, about yay big? And he's a halfling and standing on the ground now, so he's reaching nowhere near how tall a human would be.
Yeah, tall man, older, heavy armor.
Yeah, he actually passed through. Couple days ago. I don't remember exactly when.
All right. Well, thank you. That's very, very helpful.
Yeah, of course. Anything for fine customers such as yourselves.
Have you heard of the hero named Lyric?
Who?
Oh? He doesn't know.
Am I supposed to?
I don't know. Are we supposed to?
You brought it up.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Stop
confusing
before you hurt yourself.
You're confusing me. What? Who's this lyric fellow you're talking about? Is there something I should know?
No, it's nothing at all.
Okay. Just, I mean, we're friends now, but I still got my eye on you.
Yeah, you've been very helpful. I greatly appreciate what you were able to tell us.
Yeah, of
as
course,
well as what
of
you were
course.
able to sell us.
Remy aims to please, and he does, like, a comical bow.
Remy, before we go, just so I know and I'll gesture to Echo for his sake, how often do you have those pickles in stock?
Well, I've got more inside.
You cut out a little bit there.
And he says, well, I got more inside. I got a special guy that goes to the lacuna where only I know where they grow, and he goes and harvests them for me.
Good to know. Hear that, Echo? You can have a steady supply of pickles in town.
This is the fanciest town I have ever been to. Now we just need to get some bread for Brickles.
That sounds disgusting.
You've never had a Brickle. You take the inside of the bread out and you stuff a pickle in it and then you eat it together like a sandwich.
What? So you just eat the crust and the pickle?
Yeah, what else do you need? Well, maybe some meat. You could put some meat in there too if you want.
I'll have to try it someday.
Okay. Oh, where to next, guys? I am loving this.
Oh, are you guys done perusing? I'm sure there's more magical doodads in there.
I think we probably have enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
suit yourself. Appreciate the business. And he takes the ice crystal and kind of is like looking at it happily. And then just like walks back into his shop without looking back at you guys.
We are never going back in there.
Come on, you guys don't like my coolest NPCs?
Is there anywhere else you guys wanted to go?
The other places you saw were the Enchanted Hammer, which was the blacksmith, and you also saw a place, you saw a quizzical quillery, and heroic herbs and positively perfect potions.
I think we should definitely check in on the potion shop.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the quillery made by these last few paintings.
Yeah, and they might have spell scrolls in there as well. depending. I don't know how that's really worked with here.
Let's go to the potion place first.
Okay. All right, so you guys make your way over to Heroic Herbs and Positively Perfect Potions. And you walk in, and there is a gnome with spectacles on and red dreadlocks that go to his butt. There's like bits of what looks like twigs and leaves and just like stuff like that. There's dirt kind of smudged on his face. He's wearing just kind of like brown like coveralls. It looks like he's just been, working with, plants and stuff like that. There's also a couple of like liquid like stains on his coveralls and stuff like that, suggesting that he's probably been brewing potions as well. But you walk in and he goes, "Oh, some customers. How can I help you?" "Oh my gosh, Lyric himself gracing my fine shop. I never thought I'd see the day when the heroic Lyric walked into Heroic Herbs, the shop of Quiggler Lillywriggle."
Yeah, it is quite fitting, I suppose, if you insist on the hero part.
Oh, I do.
We are quite in need of
God, I'm getting stuck back to that
potions.
last guy's voice now. That's all I want to do now.
potions fit for a team of heroes.
Oh, you see, absolutely. Carry all manner of fine potions here. It's typically handy because the militiamen here certainly need potions to help them fight all that nastiness that comes out of Glutton Kettle. So I keep the town supplied, and I always have a stockpile myself too. You know what I mean. And you can see there are like potions lining the walls, various like herbs and tinctures and stuff like that on one side, and then potions on the other. Everything is labeled. It's actually, though he looks pretty dirty, you would guess it's just because he's been working, because the shop is actually fairly immaculate. The floor of the shop is mostly empty, besides like there's one like what would it be, just like a long like cupboard almost, that looks like it probably has some potions on it, and then he has a desk on the far side, and then there's two doors. It was a 2-story building that you saw, so there's one door kind of off to your right when you guys go in, and then one door that's behind the desk in the back that you would guess probably goes to like his workshop or whatever. But yeah, if you're walking around, there's healing potions, oil of etherealness, clairvoyance, gaseous form, animal friendship. There's a filter of love, an invisibility potion, a potion of stone giant strength, a potion of heroism. There's something called Keatome's ointment. He's got quite a bit of stuff in here.
With this robe, I am relatively set with healing potions. There's about 4 that I can use, and can freely use on whoever. So,
and if
you,
yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you all, we don't necessarily need to get potions. It probably doesn't hurt, but, if we want to get other things, maybe that might be a better choice as well.
If you were to look closer, he has 4 regular healing potions, 2 greater healing potions, and 1 superior healing potion. And the Keatome's ointment is set like right next to that stuff, maybe kind of indicating that might have something to do with, healing or restoration or something like that as well. They're kind of like in their own little section.
I'd like to get one of the bigger healing potions because I don't have any right now.
The greater?
Augment my healing. Yeah, I'd like to get the superior one actually.
The superior? Okay, that's 1,500 gold. Those are expensive.
Yeah, I figured. Let me just do the greater. I'll get one of the graders.
Okay, graders are 250. He will give you a discount because you are with Lyric. He'll go down to 225 on that.
Okay, cool.
And he would probably go down to... He would offer you, if you were eyeing the superior, well, for a friend of Lyric, I could probably take 1,300 for it.
No, I'll be good with this one. I just need one good potion.
Okay. You can never have too much healing if you're out there, and especially these lands, they're quite dangerous.
What does that Keatome's potion do?
Oh, that's that heals as well. It's got it heals for probably almost about as much as a greater healing potion, but it also it will also cure all ailments as well, such as like poisons and diseases and stuff like that. This one here has about 4 uses, so it's about 4 greater healing potions combined with getting rid of disease and poison all in one. And I charge it's really quite a deal. I charge only 500 gold for that. And I believe the healing on that is 2d8 plus 2. Whereas, like, a greater healing potion is 4d4 plus 4. So, the greater healing potion slightly has more healing, just because of the plus 4 instead of plus 2. But it doesn't get rid of, poisons and diseases either, so... One thing with the ointment, because it's not a potion that you can just down really quick. It's a full action to use it instead of a bonus action.
Right.
So that is one thing you'd have to keep in mind.
Well, that could also be something that you can use in replacement, potentially, of a greater restoration or a lesser restoration as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that idea, only because this land is very strange to us. And I don't know what we're going to be coming across as far as poisons or anything like that. So any kind of backup from me having to save spells or having them available would be nice. So
yeah, I think we can get both the Keatome's ointment and the other greater.
Okay.
Okay. So that would be 725. Because the 500 for the Keatomes was already the discounted price for Lyric.
Cool. I think that'll put us in a pretty good place once we leave.
The regular healing potions are 50 each if you guys want those. He would give you, he can't give much of a discount on that because they're not much to begin with anyway, but he could do like 45 on those for you guys.
Echo should be good. I have a superior healing potion on hand already.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Lyric will take that greater. And then who wants to hang on to the ointment?
I mean, I would say that would go to Ericos.
Yeah, I'll take it.
With medicine, so.
Okay. Great.
Well, do we want to go to I want to call it the bookstore, but
And he, as you guys are like, you know, kind of buying out his stock of remaining healing potions, he says to you, "Oh wow, these things are going like hotcakes. Just 2 days ago now, a gentleman came in and, you know, cleared out about half my stock of these their healing potions and got all of my holy water as well. Completely took out the entire stock of holy water."
Did you catch a name on the off chance?
Yeah, I believe it was Rudolph. Rudolph Van Richten.
Did he say where he was going with all that holy water, or?
No, he just said he was waiting. He was preparing for something. He said he was probably going to be in town for a couple days, and that if I got more holy water in, that he would gladly take it. So to let him know, I guess he's staying at the inn in town. The Runaway Apprentice. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Yeah, we have. Oh, it's good to know. I guess we'll have to check to see if he's still there.
You know, speaking of, do you happen to spend much time down at the Runaway Apprentice?
Yeah, I happen to go there after work quite a lot. I mean, it's a big space, and a lot of the town really goes there. We're quite a close knit community here in Toyalis. You know, we try to get by ourselves and be self-sufficient and not rely on outside help, because there really is none. And we have to stick together against those filthy magic users that are always coming in and taking our people.
It's good to hear. There's a strong sense of community. It reminds me of home a bit.
Well, if you're looking to set down roots, I know that we would absolutely love to have a hero like you settle down in Toyalis. You would certainly help quite a bit with all of that nastiness coming out of Glutton Kettle. If the stories are to be believed, that is.
You know, a few people have mentioned Glutton Kettle now. How long has that been a problem?
As long as I can remember, as long as I've been here. It's you know, there have been some brave souls of the guard, and a few that wanted to, you know, make a name for themselves adventuring, that tried to venture into the Glutton Kettle. A few came back, most didn't. But the ones who came back said it was, you know, full of vicious creatures, and it's basically just a hole in the ground. And they're not even sure how deep it goes, but it's got, you know, winding paths, and they said it's just kind of a maze down there. It's easy to get lost. So they said they're guessing that's probably why a lot of people didn't return, is they simply just got lost and ran out of food or ran into something vicious. So you need a good sense of direction if you're going to go there.
Good to know.
Do we want to go to the bookstore?
Yeah, I think that's the last place.
Yep, bookstore and then inn. Or do we have to go back to get diamond dust before the inn?
Well, it depends on the time. But yeah, I'm guessing it'd probably be about time to pick that up before we go back.
Yeah, I would say that after you guys, if you want to go to Quizzical Quillery, that the diamond dust would probably be ready about then.
Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll go to the bookstore.
Because you guys spent a while at Baubles and at Bits and Baubles, and you know, a decent amount of time at all these places. So yeah. So you guys are going to Quizzical Quillery?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So you walk in, and this place is like, well, first of all, you you walk in through the door, which is not actually a door so much as it is strands of beads that just go from the door frame to the ground. And behind that there is a door, but it's just left open right now. But you walk through the beads, and there's a heavy smell of incense in the air, but the place is absolutely immaculate. It's very, very clean. You see all manner of books and parchment and inks and quills and sheafs of paper, different kinds of papers. Cases for different sizes of papers and maps, and there are maps of Haslan here. Some of them depicting some areas in a little greater detail. They're on a little smaller scale, so they zoom in a little bit more, stuff like that. And you see a female human. Think of like a woman in her 60s that was a hippie in the 70s and still kind of is. She's got long hair that goes past her butt, beads in it in certain places, and just kind of has that just like natural look, like she hasn't really done anything to it. She's not wearing makeup or anything like that. And you guys come in, and yeah, basically Echo. She's got like half moon spectacles on, and she looks up from. She was actually standing at a desk on the other side writing something, and when she hears the beads kind of click together, when you guys enter, she looks up and oh, customers, how nice to see you. Oh my gosh. If it isn't Lyric. Why, welcome to my humble establishment. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. I had no idea that you were in town or that you were even coming. I wish someone had told me. I would have tidied up a bit. And you look around and you're like, what? The place is fucking clean as can be. It's immaculate.
And what is around? What's in the shop? I mean, is it books? Is it just okay?
Yeah, just what I described before. There's books, there's inks, there's parchment, there's circular, like tubular cases for maps and parchments and stuff. There's also like square cases for books or loose papers. Anything to do with writing or books or anything, you can find it here. You also do see that she does have some art hanging on the walls, some nice tasteful pieces that she has kind of proudly displayed on the walls. So
Gotcha. Well, we're here to both look around and show some of our goods, see if you have any interest in those as well. So.
Oh, absolutely! Please, do come in. I'm always happy to do some business.
I guess what I would be most interested in. Do you happen to have any spell scrolls of any kind, just on the off chance?
She immediately straightens and looks around, and then looks at you and goes, "Shh. Not so loud. I trust you because you're a friend of Lyric's, but there could have been other people about. You don't want to be talking about stuff like that out in the open. Now,
I apologize.
Come here. And she motions you over closer to her. And she basically gets in and, like, whispers in your ear. Oh, sorry. She would have introduced herself, by the way. I am Tana Shea. Welcome to my store. But then she kind of leans into your ear and whispers, "Yes, I do keep a secret supply of magical scrolls, just in case, you never know when you might need to like defend yourself or something. I'm not saying that I practice magic at all, mind you, but you never know." She's like talking about it like somebody in their 60s who smokes pot and used to smoke a lot of pot like back in the 70s, but is kind of trying to hide that they still do it type thing. Like that's the kind of vibe you're getting.
Well, your secret is safe with us. I promise.
Well, I certainly hope so. I wouldn't want the other town folk kicking me out or trying to offer me up to the apprentices when they come through on their yearly voyage.
Well,
is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Not really. Just wanted to see what you have.
Okay. So she would kind of take you into a back room, and she has a bookcase that she actually like swings open the bookcase, and then there's another bookcase behind this bookcase, basically, that just has like rows and rows of scrolls. Anything that you want, first through third level, I would say. And then if you want anything higher than that, we can roll to see if she might have that particular one, because she has bits and pieces of higher level scrolls up to like let's say 5th level. Okay. And then after that, nothing.
Taking a look at the secret room that she has, what are the walls made out of?
The walls in here are made out of stone. This building is actually made out of stone. Gotcha. It's not the normal wood like everywhere else is.
Right. While I'm looking through, I'll just
and it doesn't actually look like the entire room is secret. It just looks like a lounge kind of area where people can like read and discuss. It's almost like a cigar lounge type feel. It's got like oversized like sofas and stuff like that. She just had the secret case behind the case that has all the scrolls. So
right. And as I'm looking through, I will just, as a suggestion, if you really want to keep this secret out of prying magical eyes, I would line it with lead.
Oh, it is. Look, and she shows you the back of the bookcase that she had flung open, and there is a thin line of lead there.
Gotcha. Perfect. Then I'm gonna take a look through the spells.
I do appreciate the insight, though.
I try. But I'm gonna look through the spell book and see if there's anything
that
I desperately want. So.
Yeah, go for it. In the meantime, Lyric, you can talk to her about art if you want, I guess, while he's looking through spell lists.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like you're quite the connoisseur of fine art. We've actually come across a couple paintings in our travels.
Oh my,
you
have you?
In purchasing. So I'll pull out those 4 paintings now and unroll them.
And she looks at the first one and like kind of audibly gasps and goes, "Oh my gosh, the person who painted this must have had quite the imagination. I mean, the colors of the sky and that big yellow thing in the sky, the puffs of white in the sky. I mean, what are all of those? That's they have quite the imagination, because the paintings that she had in her outer were depictions of Haslin. This is quite remarkable. Whoever did these did excellent work, and they were quite creative. Where did you come? Pray tell, where did you come across such fine work as this?
Oh, now that you mention this, we did find these in another realm, I suppose you could call it, a place beyond Haslin.
What do you mean?
Called Falkovnia.
Another realm?
Yes, there's...
You mean there's more than just Haslin?
Well, much more, actually.
She kind of, like, goes and just sits and sinks into one of the oversized recliners and is like her mind is blown. And she... Do other places look like that place with the yellow thing in the sky? Because I'll be honest, that place looks much happier than here.
Well, unfortunately, it's not.
Oh.
That much. Though actually, I don't know where this was painted, per se. We found it in Falkovnia, though I suppose it could have been somewhere else even beyond there.
Well, when you have time, you'll have to tell me of this Falkovnia. I'm somewhat of a budding screenwriter, if you will. I like to write plays to try to put them on for the local folks. So if I had one about a different realm, I'm sure that would cause quite a stir.
It's quite different. When we arrived here, I think we felt much the same way that you have just now. This place is very different from anywhere we've been before, which I mean, Haslin. And that yellow ball in the sky is, well, I could say I quite miss it.
I can imagine. It looks kind of warm and peaceful.
Though, in fact, Falkovnia is a land overrun by undead. So.
Oh, dearie, that's no good. We do get the occasional undead here, but not really that many. They wander out of... Sorry, go ahead.
Could make for quite the story of adventure and daring and triumph, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't want to impose on a hero as great as yours time, but if you ever did have the time, I would love to pick your brain a little and get a little more information on this Falkovnia and maybe some other places you visited, so that I could maybe come up with my own play based on your stories. Of course, I would give you full credit as the inspiration for the tales. I'm sure that would probably make them even more popular. You've been causing quite a stir about town.
I think that does sound like quite a good idea. I don't know how long we're planning to stay in town for now, but perhaps the next time we're through.
That would be absolutely magnificent. And you can see she is just over the moon now. Like, she is so happy.
But for now, perhaps these paintings could give you a place to start.
Oh,
you're interested in
absolutely.
Purchasing them?
Yes, I would definitely be interested in these paintings. How much are you asking for them?
Oh, to be honest, I don't have quite the eye for art. Perhaps 100 gold each.
For all four? 400 gold total?
Sounds fine to me.
Yes, absolutely. I could do that. That sounds great. I would love to have these masterpieces. I'm not so much of a fan of the one about battle, but the other three are much more peaceful, and I really enjoy them. I'm sure I'll have some clientele that'll enjoy looking at the one about battle and everything, but I enjoy the the quieter side of life. I prefer that, you know.
I'll just glance at Oz and Ericos. Does that seem like a decent price to you?
Ericos is absolutely just nodding his head in affirmative.
Oz is
Yeah, he doesn't know it.
not even paying attention. He is
Great.
coming through scrolls right now.
Yeah, I'm paying attention enough to notice that you looked at me, and then I nodded my head.
Works for me.
Yeah, so she'll happily get out 400 gold and hand it over to you and take the paintings. Very happily.
Oz will eventually finish
Okay.
holding 4 scrolls.
Okay.
Scroll of Alarm, Scroll of Counterspell,
Okay.
Scroll of Knock, and Scroll of Liamon's Tiny Hut.
Okay. So the third level ones are 500, I believe. I think that's the price for them. Second level is 150, and the first level is 50.
So 1,200.
And those prices might be a little bit higher than they say, like, in the player's handbook or whatever, but, you know, this is secret, and she's kind of going out on a limb, so you're kind of paying for that as well.
Are you all okay with that? Those, I feel, would be very useful for us
100%.
just in some capacity. Okay. Yeah, that will gather the 1,200 and happily take those.
My, what a day. I get to meet the hero Lyric. He sells me art from other worlds. I learn that there's other worlds, and then I do a great bit of business with you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. What is your name?
Osra. Pleasure.
Osric, pleasure to meet you. And you, the stoic one there.
Ericos. You can call me Ericos.
I will call you Ericos then, Ericos. If you missed it, I'm Tannerly Shea. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. Any friend of Lyric is a friend of mine.
And our other friend, the tall one, Echo, probably best that he didn't come in. His hands are just covered in pickle juice, and that wouldn't do well in here, I would think.
Yes, I would rather that if he's a little dirty, that he not come in my place of business here. I have quite a few things that if he got pickle juice on them, they would simply be worthless after that.
Understandable.
I'd love to meet him in other circumstances. You know, I'm not saying that he's bad as a person or anything like that, but you know, just if he has pickle juice all over his hands, I'd rather we met at a different time.
Absolutely, I totally understand. We're staying at the inn, so if you ever are there, you'll probably see us.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, I go there some evenings and have a glass of nice wine and you know, enjoy the music. Maybe do a little dancing.
Fantastic.
I like to do well, I kind of came up with it myself, I think. Nobody else really dances like this, but I call it like interpretive dance. You know, I dance to how I'm feeling. It's I don't know. I like it. It soothes me. It makes me feel better.
You know what? If it makes you feel better, then just keep on doing it.
Thanks, I will.
Well, I have everything that I need. I'm very happy with those scroll purchases, so.
Well, is there anything else that Quizzical Quillery can provide for you all fine folks today?
Not me.
Neither me.
Nope, I'm set.
Well, it was absolutely lovely to meet you all, and Lyric, I'm gonna hold you to that. Next time you come through town, we're gonna sit down and have an ale or a wine if you partake, and I'm gonna have some of those stories of yours.
That's yes. We shall.
Looking forward to it. Oh, I can't wait already. There's the anticipation.
All right, Ericos, do we want to go get your diamond dust?
Yeah, let's do that and head back to the inn.
Okay. Yeah, you guys head back over to Quality Components and Commodities and pick up the diamond dust from Lou Varese.
Cool.
No problem. And you head back to the inn. Upon entering the Runaway Apprentice, Ericos, you would notice immediately, because it's about lunchtime right now, so people are at, there's a smattering of people around. Sorry, I'm just changing the map real quick. There's a smattering of people around, eating and stuff like that. But you notice one man in particular who is sitting in this back... Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, it would be that one. Who is sitting in this back corner in the back chair right there, so he can kind of keep an eye on the whole room. And he is wearing heavy armor. He has grayish hair, kind of like pulled back into a not terribly long ponytail. And he seems to fit the description of Rudolph Van Richten.
Ericos will pull Lyric and Oz just slightly closer and just kind of glance that direction.
And that was the one thing I forgot to do, was come up with a token for him. So I'm just going to find something for the time being, and then I'll get one for next session.
Take a look over to that corner. What do you guys see?
You know what? I actually should have a Van Richten token itself. Because I bought the thing, so I should have one for him.
As Echo finishes jar of pickles at this point.
He's saving some of them.
Fair enough.
There he is.
Can't eat them all in one sitting.
Midnight snack.
And he got his pig's feet in there now. As the campaign goes on, I'm see how many things I could put in that pickle jar now.
Okay, sorry, I was looking for his token. What are you guys doing?
Ericos kind of pulls Lyric and Oz a little bit closer and nods over to that corner and says, "Who do you guys see over there?"
I would
Beware.
beware.
Seaware.
Oh, see warehouse.
Yeah, over in that corner, it looks like the guy who's been around here for a while, or been around town.
Mr. Rudolph.
Yep.
Your cat looked like it was a PowerPoint like image slide in at the beginning there, and it threw me off so hard.
Yeah, it's a filter for my camera.
It's like the opposite of a green screen. It's a front green screen.
Did you guys want to go talk to him?
I think we should go say hello.
He is eyeing you all now.
Might as well just head right that way.
Yep. Come on, Echo. We're gonna go meet Rudolph.
Let's go.
All right. So you all make your way over to Rudolph Van Richten. And when you get close, he nods at all of you. Well, hello. If it isn't Lyric, the one who's been causing so much of a stir around town. It's actually funny. Just before I got here to Haslin, I had heard your name in the last place I was at, too. Darkon. Quite curious. Quite curious indeed. But we can get into that later. I am Rudolph Van Richten. And I am a slayer of undead, a monster hunter. Seems that you all are the adventuring type, and I'm hoping that your ideals and morals and goals somewhat align with mine. I know Lyric here. Who are the rest of you?
Ericos will step forward. I am Ericos. You may call me Ericos.
Ericos?
Osric.
Osric?
Hi. I'm Echo.
He kind of just gives a echo. Well, it's nice to meet all four of you.
Nice to meet you.
Might I ask why you are seeking me out? I was planning on seeking you all out, to tell you the truth, but it seems you've done your job for me, or done my job for me.
Well,
Go ahead, Lyric.
we've heard your name quite a bit as we've walked through town today. Seems like we are in a similar line of work, as you said.
Well, that is good to hear. I'm glad that the stories aren't overblown. It certainly looks like you all can handle yourself in combat, which is very good news, because it just so happens that I could really use some help right about now.
I think we'd all be interested to hear what with.
Well, it's quite a long tale, but I'll give you the short of it. I've been trailing a wicked vampire named Cerveza. And I've probably tracked her across 4 different domains in these lands of the mist so far. But I think I finally have found her lair here. But she is crafty. She is a vampire that is also capable of spellcraft, which makes her extremely dangerous. I don't know if I would be quite strong enough to take her on my own. So it would be useful to have some backup, if you all are amenable.
A vampire is great evil.
Yes, it is. There's none greater.
Is this vampire alone, or do they have anyone else with them?
It will probably, she will probably have some thralls and perhaps some minions, but she isn't the type to, shall we say, share the spotlight. She's one of the most narcissistic, egotistical, even for a vampire, creatures that I have ever come across. So she has no mate. She has no other vampires in her circle, only things that are completely subservient to her. So yes, there will be other dangers along with her, but nothing anywhere near as powerful as she.
Where was the last place you saw her?
Darkon.
And you said you think you found her lair here. Where do you think it is?
Well, I think it's somewhere. Let me pull up the map again real quick.
Would a vampire's presence scare other creatures to leave their home?
If people knew about the vampire and the vampire was terrorizing the place, maybe yes, but actually the safest place for oneself when faced with a vampire is in one's own home, as they are unable to enter someone else's house without permission. It is one of the best forms of protection against them. That and, of course, sunlight, which I'm sure is why she has made her actual lair here in Haslan, as there seems to be no fucking sunlight here. But no matter, I'll just have to make my own. And the last thing that really bothers them would be running water, which there seems to be a little of here, but not a terrible amount.
Well, when do you look to set off for her lair?
Well, I don't want to lose her again, but I suppose it wouldn't be a terribly huge ordeal if we left sometime in the next 2 to 3 days, I would say. I mean, obviously, I would prefer to set out as soon as you all are ready and able, and if that was tomorrow, great. I am ready to go. I have taken the last 2 days here to restock my supplies and familiarize myself with these lands and the customs and such things, but yes, I mean, really, as soon as you are able. I've tracked her down to an area. I don't know exactly where her lair is, but I may have means of pinpointing that a little closer once we get closer to the area. But where I've kind of pinpointed is she's somewhere near Eleni's Mark. If you have a map of Haslan, you should be able to see that. And I'll pull it up and ping it for you guys just so you can see it.
How long is the journey? How many rations should we pack?
It's not a terribly long journey, I don't think. Based on the maps that I have been able to find here, if the scale is correct, that is, as the crow flies, it's only about 18 miles, which isn't even a full day's travel. But, that being said, we will have to kind of go the long way around, avoid the lacuna, kind of go up and around, and then back down, and then up into the mountains where she has her lair. So it's not quite as simple as just traveling, 18 miles to get there. It's going to be a little bit of a journey, possibly 2 days.
Well, I'm ready to head out when all you guys are, if this is what you want to do.
I could be ready to go tomorrow. I would want to switch
Yes.
the spells out.
Did you guys see the where I marked?
I did.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's something I want
I'll
to
just put it in the chat too. So
do tonight. So I would be able to set off in the morning. But
Yeah, morning would be good for me.
About what time could I maybe try to guesstimate that it is?
I mean, you're pretty sure that the days here aren't a 24-hour day like normal, but you would guess that it's probably about halfway through the light hours. So far that you've been able to kind of come up with, you think it's about a 20-hour day, about 12 hours of light and 8 hours of darkness a day. So well, we can go over final details perhaps this evening in a more private venue, just so as we are not overheard, and one that we can protect from scrying so that that witch does not know what we are planning.
That
Yes.
sounds good.
Very well. Well, I will take my leave for now then, and I will see you all tonight. You can find me in room 13.
Perfect.
And he gets up and goes to the stairs and walks up them.
So we're going vampire hunting.
Seems so. Something feels not necessarily off about him and this vampire being here, but ill timing, I guess, is the best way to put my feeling of things.
We'll have to be on our highest guard.
Just as you guys are saying that, you notice, Ericos, you notice first that all of the talking in the room has stopped. And you look towards the door, and floating towards you is one of those little jellies of light.
Oh, I wonder if this is our message.
And it floats towards you and then kind of situates itself in the middle of the four of you. You know, you guys are kind of around the table, and it kind of floats up and then onto the table. And Ericos, you hear a familiar voice emanate from it, and upon careful looking, this jelly does look a little bit different. It bears that mark that you guys have been seeing everywhere, is kind of like laser etched into it, it looks like, would be the equivalent. But a voice speaks out and says, "Greetings, companions. Your arrival has been brought to my attention, and I find you all very fascinating and interesting. I see that you have powerful magic of your own, and I would very much like to meet with you. I therefore invite you to meet with me in my tower at Veneficus in 3 days' time. That should give you plenty of time to prepare and travel. And then the jelly starts floating away again.
He picked a terrible time to deliver that.
Well, we don't have to be on his schedule.
It was more, I think, the setting area.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Taking a subtle glance around, what is everyone else's reactions?
Everyone is staring at you guys. The voice wasn't overly loud, so you're not sure if everyone was able, or if anyone was able to overhear the words that he was saying, because there's not anybody particularly close to you guys. Like, if you look at the map how it is, those people 2 tables over are the closest ones. And this voice wasn't terribly loud. But working against that was the fact that as soon as this thing came in bearing that mark, everyone just completely went silent. So there was no, chatter or buzz of noise that there would normally be in here to kind of disguise the voice a little bit. So you're unsure how much was said. But you are fairly certain, especially Ericos, that everyone knows that you just got a message from Haslick himself.
Awesome.
Lyric will stand up and turn to face the room.
Okay.
You all know who I am, who we are, and you know why we're here. Do not be alarmed. We are here to protect you all. We are here to save you all from that mad coward who calls himself a wizard.
There's
So please enjoy your lunch and wish us well.
When you speak ill of Haslick and call him a coward, there are very audible gasps throughout the room. And people are shocked and looking at each other and looking like they just want to burrow into themselves and fucking disappear. Yeah, but you say that, and go ahead and roll your persuasion check with advantage and with your expertise.
Okay, just please don't roll a 3 again.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Everyone kind of, they take a moment, but the people kind of begin to unfold themselves from curling in on themselves, and they start looking at each other and start nodding, and you start to hear some chatter. And then one guy kind of yells out, "Yeah, if we've got Lyric on our side, maybe it's time for Haslick to go. Maybe we can finally, live in peace." And then you just hear some other people going, "Yeah, maybe we can, yeah." And it's like a new thought has dawned on them that they could potentially fight back and don't have to accept the status quo of how things have been. And that you all, and Lyric in particular, have given them a new source of hope and something good to look forward to. And with that, I think we are going to call it a session.
Well said, Lyric.
Yeah.
That was really good, Lyric.
Thanks.
All right, so thank you to anybody who watched. I know it was probably not the most exciting episode to watch, as there was no combat and it was a lot of shopping and everything, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm pretty sure my players did too, and that's all that matters, so we don't care if you guys liked it. We're just going to keep doing what we have fun doing, so if you want to keep watching, we play every other Saturday for about usually 4 or 5 hours from 10 Eastern until, whenever we feel like ending. And yeah, you can expect some pretty intense moments next session with the party deciding what they're going to do, because they now have multiple things that are kind of clashing with each other, as far as being invited to see Haslick and also being invited by Rudolph Van Richten to go hunt a vampire during the same time. So we will see what happens and unfolds with that in 2 weeks. But thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you in a couple days. Bye!